No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world, and I'm in here today. We got a little bit of a surprise guest.
Hello.
Coolest white boy in the world.
Thank you so much for inviting me on to the show. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm excited.
I did the news with Yuri the other day, and I was just like, you know what? Yuri is good energy. And when you really think about No Jumper, I do feel like at least one of the things that people expect from No Jumper is to have some cool-ass black dudes and some lame-ass white guys. No offense, Yuri, but I think we both fill at least some of that category, you know?
Yuri has a drawstring on his glasses.
Bruh, I have to explain this to everyone. It's so sad.
It looks like a rat tail back
It's
there.
almost like, I know this is a crazy example, but it's almost like as if I came here with crutches. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, why do you have to use those? It's because I need to use them to see. You
why?
Know?
Because your glasses won't stay on your face
Exactly.
otherwise?
My glasses will not stay on my face. And I bought these glasses brand new, and within a week, they were just so loose that nothing could happen. I took them to go get tightened. That didn't help. And then shout out to Phil, he gave me this thing, and I've been using it ever since. And I've been getting roasted ever since too, but it helps.
Looks like you play in the NBA.
Yeah, that's some redneck.
My childhood is filled with memories of just breaking my glasses over and over and over, doing any kind of physical activity. So I really empathize with what you're going through because I hate wearing glasses. Oh, sunglasses are fine.
Did you get contacts or laser eye surgery?
I got contacts probably in like 8th grade, and then I wore contacts every single day until I was like 25 or 26, and that's when I got the eye surgery.
You ever had color contacts?
No.
You see, like as a skateboarder, the reason why I didn't want to do contacts is my hands. Now I don't skate as much, but
your hands are always disgusting.
Exactly,
yes.
My hands are always covered in dirt, bacteria, and I'm thinking like, if I gotta fucking touch my eye a couple times a day with these dirty ass hands, like that's kind of crazy.
And that's a big thing I remember from being young too, is like being on the road on a BMX trip or like going on tour with bands or whatever, and then meanwhile my hands are so dirty and I got to take my contacts out at night while I'm sleeping in the back of a 15-passenger van. And it's like we don't even stop at a gas station or anything, so it's like I can't get my hands clean, but I still got to take my freaking those things are so gross.
And you got to clean them too in like fluid.
Ugh, yeah, the juice, that liquid,
Bro,
saline solution.
I just saw some video about this like grandma who went to a doctor and she's like saying she has like her eyes itching or something, right? And the doctor's like, all right, let's take a look. And basically this grandma is like so forgetful that she keeps putting on a new contact. The old one slides to the back. She puts on a new one. Old one slides to the back. And the doctor like pulled out like 20 like old contacts in the back of her eyeball, dude.
I remember there were people when I was in junior high or whatever who would have contacts who would just wear them for like months.
Straight.
And they would get like terrible eye conditions and like all kinds of messed up stuff with their eyes. You gotta be careful with that. The eye surgery is the best thing I ever did.
Basically, this eye thing that I'm dealing with is a disability, and this rope that I have is a cure to my. It's almost like a crutch, so it's rude to make fun of it.
It looks like a fun ducktail.
I feel like Brick Baby might grab it from behind.
Damn.
Someone could probably, if I'm getting in a fight, someone's probably gonna try to grab this. And swing my head around or something.
Having glasses in general is just basically like a death sentence for your fighting ability, right?
That's true. Sure. One punch to the eye and I'm probably blind.
It's just over as soon as they get their hands on that. Okay, one topic I did want to get into just before we even begin to talk about anything else besides glasses, apparently. So basically, when I did the podcast with Sharp the other day, there was like a very brief segment in which I spoke about basically, like for some reason, I just took it upon myself to just be a little bit open and emotional and talked about the fact that I kind of missed T-Rell. And I talked about the fact that I didn't really like feel like anything happened between us that would prohibit us having a cool relationship, you know? And I was just kind of like thinking out loud about the fact that, you know, that when I look at what happened between he and I, there was really nothing. You know, there was like nothing significant that occurred between us that would preclude that kind of relationship. And for some reason, his response to this was to basically go on his stream and do like a half-hour kind of like weird quasi attack on me, where he basically made it clear that he wasn't cool with me for whatever reason, or he had this sort of resentment against me. And, you know, I felt like I had like a general idea of what was going to be in it just from seeing, you know, a couple of captions of the clips from the Reddit or whatever. But I sat down yesterday and I watched the full 30-minute clip, which, keep in mind, the thumbnail has bullet holes in my face. So that's the kind of aggression that we're talking about here. And I actually opened up the notepad on my phone because I wanted to make sure that my response was coherent and that I was able to kind of catalog whatever issues he might have had with me. And I didn't write anything down because in the full 30-minute clip, he didn't even come close to answering the question of like what happened between he and I that caused tension. The only thing that he talks about basically in the clip in terms of things between us was the money side of things. Now I've made this pretty clear in terms of how I approach paying people or having people get paid through No Jumper, which is that, if you want to get a raise, generally speaking, you're probably going to have to talk to like Josh or I about that. Like, we're not really just like chasing people down to be like, hey, we want to give you more money. That's not really, it's not really how it works, in general. And
corporation work.
Anyone who's ever had a job knows that generally speaking, maybe if you get a new title, that there will be a raise associated with that, but for the most part, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Now, T-Rell is somebody that I consider generally pretty smart, but the fact that he doesn't seem to really have anything of substance to say about what apparently I did to him, the desire for like a victimhood narrative is so strong that, you could have someone like him listen to me say some kind things, I thought, for a couple of minutes on a podcast, and that his response would be, and this says a lot about the incentives of making YouTube content and just how people know that if they are to say something critical or at least title it in such a way that it looks critical, that there's going to be a ton of people tuning in and that that's very much what the audience wants to see. But, I guess that was kind of a little bit of a learning experience for me, is like, oh, I was kind of transparent and emotionally available for 2 minutes on the podcast, and instead I just get this dude making a half-hour video with bullet holes at the thumbnail talking about money. Because I dropped a comment pretty soon after it came out and on the YouTube video, and I think I said, it's hilarious to quit before asking for a raise or something like that. And he responded basically saying, it wasn't about money. I would have worked for free, yada, yada. Well, okay, if it's not about money, then what is it about? Because that video didn't answer that question at all. T-Rell and I always had a cool relationship. When his fucking store flooded, who was the first people to donate money? It was me and Lena. Besides Tyga, I don't even know who else donated. I'm pretty sure the store still isn't open. It's like, I may not have been as in his face as he would have expected or he would have liked or whatever. But the truth is that I put T-Rell on in a lot of ways. I don't even want to say me. No Jumper put him on, put him in a position to win. Now, you might be able to say, like, look, AD brought him to the platform, whatever, for sure. But I shared the platform with him and allowed him to basically build something that now he has as, like, a real opportunity to take care of his family and make money and everything. And still, after watching that clip, I don't feel like I have an answer on the question of why things went sour or why things are like that. Because if you actually watch, some fan took it upon himself to basically like put T-Rell's explanations for leaving side by side, like when it first happened and then the other day, and they're so fundamentally different because at first he wasn't really playing into this victim narrative as hard, whereas now he's like really leaning into it, even though he's not telling you what happened between us because nothing happened that would cause him to leave. The reality is he left because he has this sense of loyalty to the people who brought him to the platform, which I respect that. That's cool. But you don't have to lie and act like there was some shit that happened between us or you were so disrespected. And also, this is another thing is like, why have I sat back for all of this time and just allowed everybody to lie about how much they were getting paid? That's one thing I've been thinking about is like, why did I just allow everybody to sort of run with these crazy narratives? I just want to make one thing clear. I have never had anyone in terms of on-air talent getting paid 6 figures a year. And I see this constantly, like as if this is like a real thing. I'm not putting out names or anything, and I'm not saying that I haven't paid people the equivalent of 6 figures a year, because there have been people on this platform that I've had sort of more like profit sharing arrangements with, and those people are going viral. Obviously, I'm talking about Sharp. Sharp's made somewhat outlandish amounts of money at times on this channel. But it's like there's people on one side of the fence who are exaggerating how much they're getting paid in order to look good, I guess, on camera. And I don't even have an issue with that because this is hip hop or whatever. Fake it till you make it, or not fake it, but like, act like you're doing better than you really are. That's totally fine. Normally, I would think, I just kind of accepted that. But the reality is that there's been a lot of people sort of making it sound like they got paid a lot more than they did. And then you also have somebody like T-Rell who's making it sound like he got paid a lot less than he did. Let's do some numbers. He said that he was getting paid $300 per piece of content. Now, you remember at one time he was doing the Wednesday show, he was doing like the news a couple times, and he was doing a couple of interviews per week, right? So if you take that and you take 5 times 300, you have $1,500 a week, plus the fact that he was getting cut in on the brand deal or the advertisements that were on at the end of the day, which for us, we've always kind of given a very significant percentage of the ad reads to the hosts who are, administrating it or whatever. I mean, I could maybe ask Josh if we really wanted to get down to it, but the reality is that it was, T-Rell was like very easily earning like, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, et cetera, per month as a result of doing content. Now, granted, he was doing a good amount of content. Doing like 5 pieces of content per week is pretty significant. But, that's without having to ask for a raise. That's without ever trying to have a conversation with us. So, I felt like that was actually pretty appropriate given the fact that on a lot of the content that was being made in these situations, it's like we are not exactly raking in cash. And they know that because when you do a podcast live stream on No Jumper, and for some reason everybody wants to paint this as if this is like mean for me to say or this is unappreciative for me to say. But the reality is that all these guys who left, they all are completely familiar with how much you get paid from live streaming. And I've had that conversation with different people. There were some people on one of these guys' podcasts who had to leave, and those guys left because they were asking for money. And the reality is that you just don't make that much money from doing live stream podcast type content on YouTube. And that's okay because for many years prior to right now, I was essentially taking a loss by supporting a whole bunch of different hosts on the channel because of the fact that I believed in it long term. And so, I don't know, like when I think about the fans at home, or I think about the average person in media, if you were to get offered, $70,000, $80,000 a year or something like that, maybe up to like $100,000 realistically, especially, and without even having to ask for a raise, if I were to offer that to somebody, I feel like every person watching this, as well as like the 90% of people working in media, would hear that number and be like, oh, I could get paid that much to be in the office like 2 days a week for like 5 or 6 hours per day. I don't really think that that's that offensive. But then when you come down to like, oh, $300 per appearance, that sounds bad. So that's what everybody's saying. Nobody's talking about the fact that this was like a person who was doing a lot of content on the channel at a certain point.
Yes.
And the thing about that is that it's like, this is kind of the overall thing that I was getting sick of towards the end of a lot of what was going on, is the fact that people were so comfortable putting these bullshit narratives out there, in particular ones that made me look bad. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting back and just looking at it and seeing everybody. The reality is everybody's like, why didn't you put T-Rell on a contract? And keep in mind, I was letting him do whatever he wanted outside of No Jumper. I wasn't trying to have any kind of control over the fact that he was streaming on his own or whatever. A non-exclusive deal where you're getting paid that significant of an amount of money, where you then get to go home and talk about whatever the fuck you talked about on No Jumper on your own shit, I'm not really buying the idea that this was not generous. Because I've already painted the picture about the fact that I was essentially taking a loss on a lot of the content. People choose to hear that and just read into it and be like, oh, that's offensive. That's mean. You didn't appreciate them. No, I'm being honest with you. And you know the fucking numbers because they're transparent. You guys are making the same amount. That what I'm talking about, that $70,000, $80,000, $100,000, whatever it might have ended up being based on how much shit he was doing, they left, or T-Rell specifically, he left that to go do their own podcast, split 4 ways. So, if I had to guess, I would say that, an average episode makes $400, $500, $600. Maybe you kill it that month or that week and you make $1,000. So, I'm not trying to say that, like, them doing their own independent thing is a bad idea or whatever, because if they wanted to do that, I support them. But you are talking about swapping out maybe making $100,000 a year for maybe making like $200 a week. Because now you're actually earning the amount that content earns and splitting it up evenly. Whereas before, you had this fucking white guy benefactor who was just artificially amplifying the price for that kind of content because we enjoyed having it on the channel. And, we were trying to make it work. And, T-Rell is someone who, if he had came to me and said, hey, I want to get on a contract and I want to get paid X amount of dollars, I would have been 100% open to that conversation. Even right before he left the platform, I remember we were having a conversation on his channel where he was talking about Lush. And he kind of said something about how he felt like he should have been getting paid more. And you go listen to how I responded to it. I was 100% open to it because I realized that he was a valuable part of the operation. And I felt like, if he wanted to have that conversation, if he wanted to get on a consistent contract, he would just ask me. And it's crazy because the other day, I don't even know that much about these guys, but I know that like MacWap is like one of their friends or whatever. And I just seen a clip of them talking about it. And they totally agreed with me. They were like, yeah, like if he wanted to get paid more, he should have asked him. And I'm like, why am I watching your friends who don't even know me, or I'm pretty sure they talk shit about me or whatever. I don't pay that much attention, but why am I watching them totally get it while I'm watching a 30-minute clip that you made with bullet holes in the thumbnail of you just like intentionally pretending like you made a good move, like as if it was a really brilliant genius business move to quit before you saw how much money you could potentially get paid. I don't know. I just feel kind of baffled by that whole thing.
Maybe he just felt like his that opportunity wasn't there for him, because he was there. He's been here for like over a year before he ended up like leaving, and he's done so much shit. Like you were saying, maybe in his mind he was just like, oh, I'm not being taken seriously.
Why wouldn't he ask? Huh? Sorry, I'm just throwing my car key to
Can
Josh
we
right now.
insert with this little break and just say that he said several times that he was doing it for the views? If you want to come at him, let's get the views up.
Yeah.
Can we agree that some of the content was fabricated because the views had to be at what they...
I mean, it has to be about the views at a certain point, right? Because you have a 30-minute video in which the stated intent in the title is that it's going to be some sort of like bombshell accusation thing against me, or like him explaining what he has against me or whatever. And then you actually watch it and there's really nothing. There's no substance to it. And so that makes me actually kind of wonder, like, do you have confidence that you can get a viral clip from talking about anything besides me? Because it kind of feels like that's where this is going, is that T-Rell is just so aware of the fact that his clips don't go viral unless he talks about me, that even me talking about him in a very, kind way, in my opinion, on that Sharp interview where I did not say anything negative about him at all and really just kind of ruminated for a few minutes about the fact that I sort of regret the fact that we don't have a relationship anymore. That was enough.
To your employees, you never spoke bad about them to us either. Let's put that on camera too. Nobody dirty Mac the situation and said, "Oh, this dude is that." It's always been good things, and like he said,
and I haven't said anything bad about them on this channel, period. And even right now, I'm not exactly like dissing him.
Yeah,
I'm just speaking on my
but he said
fair
that he was
opinion.
Grateful, and then he contradicts himself and says that he's grateful for the opportunity also.
Right.
Okay, I'll go back to what you were saying.
It's just, I didn't want to speak on it in the moment of like when it was happening and everything, because I'll be honest, my feelings were pretty hurt, which apparently like I got him and Heather and they're roasting me for acknowledging that I have feelings. And then in the same breath, basically saying that I'm this heartless monster that only cares about business or whatever, and it's like, how do those two things exist at the same time? How are you saying that you're a boss, but you never thought to have a conversation about your pay? Because he don't even have to look far to see examples of how to move, because AD wasn't shy about asking for money. And AD he can't run with this kind of narrative because he fucking went on his stream a million times, went on other podcasts, whatever, and said, I'm getting paid well from No Jumper. Because he asked, because he tried to get paid as much as he could. And even there were times where we had conversations about money and we were like, listen, we can't pay you that much, or we have to do some different things, or you have to get paid from We Hungry like this. We'll give you a percentage of the income versus just a flat fee, et cetera, et cetera. We worked it out because, you know, it behooves us to do so. And I don't know, it's just, it's really kind of shocking how compelling the victimhood narrative is for people, that even when I'm a person who put him in a position to make a lot of money and to build a fan base and to build up his own platform at the same time, but somehow he's still a victim in this situation. Like, he views himself as somebody who had something really bad done to them, even though he's not able to identify what that thing is. And so, I don't know, I think that might be the majority of what I wanted to say. But it's like, I see so many people in the comments and everything who are starting to realize that there's just no legs to this argument, to this idea that Adam treated these guys badly. And like, I mean, even one other situation. This is like one of the only things that I actually thought about writing down when I was listening to his little 30-minute clip about me or whatever. But the Duno thing. Because Duno is somebody who, you know, him, AD, whatever, like, I feel like they've been like largely cool through this whole breakup or whatever. It's not like they're just going super out of their way to talk shit or whatever. So I don't want to make it about them. And I still do have love for those guys and never expected us to be in a position where we had anything against each other or whatever. But Duno tells like a very, very simplified version of a story involving him. And I think the fact that I still don't consider it an easy decision at all, but like that the narrative has been painted as if I just did something horrible, that's something I want to speak on too. So basically, we had a situation where there was a YouTuber, and I guess I'll just say his name because everybody's going to know anyway, but American Cholo, Mexican dude. I think he got locked up for a while or whatever, but he's got a street background and everything. Shout out to him. This is not an attempt to diss him or whatever, but basically, he
welcome to No Jumper. Fuck all the nice shit. Go ahead.
Well, okay. He was discussed on the channel at a certain point because it was during the whole Tyga thing, and basically Duno had sent some shit about the Tyga I Carumba video where Duno said, fuck all that, this video is cool, like y'all are just complaining, et cetera, et cetera. And so then American Cholo, who at the time we didn't even know about, he came out, he made a video basically saying that Duno was not representing his people right or whatever by not pressing the issue about the I Carumba video, right? And so we spoke about it on the show, and then a few days later, he did an interview on the radio with Tyga, and then I think like the next day or a couple days later, basically Flacco hits up the social media group chat. Keep in mind, at this time, every single person in the social media group chat, I believe, besides me, is of color, right? Actually, they're all black. So they started having a conversation about a clip that had come out that was basically American Cholo, and he was referring to Tariq Nasheed as a four-letter derogatory racial slur that is spelled C-O-O-N that I'm not going to say. And everybody in the group chat was pretty upset about this and wanted to post it, thought that it was a fair thing to post. Now, I okayed it. I said, yeah, fucking it seems newsworthy to post, for sure, do it. And it went up, and it became more and more of an issue because American Cholo was claiming that it was taken out of context. Anybody who wants to like go Google this, you could probably go view it, and you could decide if you think it's out of context. But the result of it was that basically, I don't know if it was said directly to him or if it was just kind of through the grapevine, but Duno became aware of the fact that this might cause a problem for him, that him as a representative of No Jumper, that some people were so angry about this that they were trying to get on him to get it deleted. Now, think about what position this puts me in as a white business owner that owns a business that is oriented around hip hop. I'm being told that because of essentially like a threat, I've got to remove this thing that my team feels like is a actual story. It's an actual interesting thing that needs to be discussed that they considered offensive
so
or
they
whatever.
wanted you to remove the fact that Cholo called some black people coons.
Duno wanted me to remove it.
Well,
and American Cholo wanted me to remove it. The entire social
Well,
media team, of course,
why
didn't.
did he say it
want to remove
publicly if he didn't want it to go viral? I mean,
I mean, you would have to see the whole thing in context, but it was like, I still don't understand what American Cholo's actual argument was for like why this was out of context.
Because he don't want to look racist, but you already said the shit.
I mean, I'm not trying to open the can of worms with him again, but that is how I would take it.
This is Brick Baby talking. I have nothing to do with Adam. I'm trying to hear it out because I'm right here listening to you, and it's like, okay, you got a dude that said. So if Adam goes on and calls a group of black people the C word, so he wants to, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
No, I'm just saying if you go on, that should be on every vlog, blog, whatever the fuck it is, and everybody would be reacting to it and doing whatever. So if you post something here at No Jumper about the shit, I mean, you can't be mad at that because you said it on YouTube. That's what happens on clip.
And think about what I would have to tell the social media team in terms of why it was removed. Hey, I know you guys thought that this was newsworthy. I know that you guys thought that this was racist and that it should have attention called to it, but he threatened us, so now we have to remove it. I don't really consider that to be like a good enough reason to tell the social media team that we need to back down on something that they thought was actually important to be discussed.
Then that shit is like a slippery slope because if you take that down, then you got to take down everything. Every time somebody
anytime you report on anything about somebody tough or somebody with connections or somebody who could conceivably make some shit happen, it's got to get deleted.
Yeah.
Because somebody threatened us. And I did end up taking it down. And I will explain the reason why, and what changed my mind about it was the fact that he pulled up to the office, the old office, with like 30 people. And so that made me realize, like, oh, we were reporting on this guy as if he was a YouTuber, a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then when I see something like that, I'm like, oh, okay, he's a street dude, or at least he wants to move like a street dude. You know, he doesn't want to talk about shit. He wants to, do things publicly. And it's not like anybody got beat up or whatever, but it's like you could kind of feel that that's where the energy was going, is like, oh, this shit is going to become this weird thing if we don't remove it. And so at that point, my policy became, okay, if this guy is not going to play by the rules of being a YouTuber or a content creator, we're just not going to report on him. We're not going to speak on him, whatever. And we haven't spoken on him since. And it seems like things are fine now. So, I don't think it was the end of the world, especially because that clip had been up for like 4 days at that point. And I feel like
that's the most momentum you're going to get up.
If Instagram, it's like everybody going to see it no matter what.
It's a new story out anyway.
Yeah. And I'll give
4 days.
I will give American Cholo like the most benefit of the doubt possible, which is like he's like relatively new to content creation, right? And I do think that he felt like he was able to maybe say that shit about Tariq Nasheed without it being painted as him being like racist towards all black people. I feel like I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt that I understand that that's what he was going for, even though if you say something that can be that easily clipped and taken in a different context, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, it's just like that's another example of a really tough decision as a business owner who's concerned with actually doing the right thing about what information that we put out there that was then easily reappropriated to just make me look as if I was this heartless fucking person, when in reality that Instagram post never made us any money. It's not like, that's just not how it works on Instagram. You don't just like have a viral post and then it just makes you a bunch of money. That's not how it works. But that's what you would think from seeing people talk about it, as if I was just not concerned with the safety of the team at all. It's like I am concerned with the safety of the team. I'm also concerned with doing the right thing in terms of our journalistic practices. And that was one of the more difficult situations I've had to deal with since all this shit, since we've been doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough coming from like your perspective. Me coming from the same place as he came from probably would have been handled differently. But at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want you running a business like that. You don't need people pulling up and doing all the extras over a fucking clip. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like you said, you got to watch what you say, period. Like, you're on YouTube. You're on a public platform. It screen record, whatever, it goes out. So either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, either way it goes, when you speak racial slurs, and that's why I try to step back. And it's like, we all know at the end of the day, well, the blacks in LA, we know why American Cholo feels the way that he feels. and we're trying to put an end to the black and brown stuff, but it's like little knacking stuff like that. Like, hey, let's be honest, we were all slaves. You get what I'm saying? Like the brown and the black, we all got worked out of our position here. We all been through the same type of struggle. I don't see where it becomes more superior to be Mexican or it becomes more superior to be black comes into play when we're both at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the social hierarchy of America. So it's just like we could keep on going at it just like black on black crime. It makes no sense. But I don't know where this goes back to where blacks and Mexicans have to beef with each other in order to exist or say anything, because we all come from the same bullshit. No matter what part of the border it was from, we all come from the same struggle.
Right. And I mean, the only reason why that became a thing was just because of the fact that, you know, like it eventually just caused enough fucking, you know, weird shit that like, and that's just what I resent about the whole thing is that whole situation, so many people involved in it basically made it out as if I had this super simple decision in place that I had to make: protect Duno, delete the post. My whole fucking team would have looked at me crazy if I just did it off of nothing, you know? And I ended up having to do it anyway because it just was becoming too intense of a situation. Yeah. But I mean, you know, that in general, it's like that to me is just such a clear-cut example of how we have to move in the future, and the fact that we just need to be super fucking transparent. Because I look at you, Brick Baby, I think you're super talented as a content creator. You know, I was just telling you that part of the reason why I could tell that I think you really have a future in this shit is that every day lately when I seen the Cam Capone clips coming up in my YouTube subscriptions, I'm clicking it because you got a real perspective. You got real shit to talk about. And one thing that I always said to them was, we got content and then we got our friendship, our relationship. Yeah. Let's not let the two become confused or whatever, you know, like even if the content shit don't work out, me and AD and T-Rell had this conversation many times. Let's just keep the friendship cool and let's keep the relationship cool regardless of what's going to happen content-wise. I don't know how everybody forgot about that so easily because at one point I was getting very, very enthusiastic responses about that. I even remember after the house phone thing happened, there was like a offhand comment that I made in the group chat at the time where I said, you know, all this shit is making me feel like I don't even want to do this shit anymore. And when I say do that shit anymore, I mean like have hosts on the channel. I don't know if people like comprehend this, but No Jumper is a viable business outside of podcasting and outside of doing interviews. Yeah. When I say that, what I mean is that our social media, from the Snapchat to the Facebook to the fact that we still make a good amount of money on YouTube in the long run, even if we don't post anything, to the fucking Instagram posts, to the, there's just a lot. There's a lot of different things that we're doing. And I could very easily, and it seemed tempting to me at various points over the last couple of months, I could very easily be like, you know what? We're just going to chill. I'm not going to make any podcast type content, or maybe we'll pivot to some other kind of content that we'll be able to do something with. But when I said that in the group chat after that house phone shit went down, what happened? I get phone calls from AD and T-Rell saying, listen, we got love for you. I don't want to see you stop it. But if you do stop doing this content, I'll still fuck with you. I'll still, you know, we're still cool. We're still friends, etc. Which really meant a lot to me and, like, you know, help make me want to keep going, you know? Yeah. And I don't know what happened to that. Like what does happen to that? Like why? Because again, like I did a 2-minute conversation with Sharp where I got a little bit emotional, or not even emotional, but I got real open about the fact that I felt like I missed T-Rell. And then I get a half-hour fucking clip with bullet holes in the thumbnail in which he doesn't make any kind of case about why things changed between us besides the money.
You really don't like them bullets.
I mean, think about what the bullets are saying. Think about what is being implied by that.
He's been in L.A. too long. That means something.
And I don't think that he's planning on shooting up my crib or anything like that. That did not enter my mind.
It's just the POV.
It's just like, wow.
It's showing the perspective, like you're talking from.
Yeah. Like metaphorically, you feel like you just sprayed me up, even though, I watched the whole video. You didn't make a point. You didn't feel like it was on you to make sense.
I can say this, and I've never said it because I don't think I've sat down and discussed the breakup.
I was trying to not talk about it. That was kind of my whole thing with this shit is I was like, I'm going to just leave it alone because I don't like the idea of somebody working for me and then moving on and I go in on them or anything. That's why even right now, I'm not saying anything disrespectful.
It was Lush. Okay, so let me just go ahead and, because I'm looking from AD's point of view is like this, and this is your point of view too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm having a heart-to-heart. Shit's not going right around here. I'm the business owner. I own the whole corporation, the whole No Jumper. Shit's not going right. I happen to talk to Lush. Me and Lush got a relationship, and this is Adam. I tell Lush, like, damn, I might be planning to do this, that, and the other. But I haven't yet hollered at AD and them.
Okay, but I actually didn't tell Lush until I had already had the conversation with AD. So that's one thing that, like, a lot of people seem to get wrong, is that they think that I was telling Lush all this shit about
and that's
AD.
What it looks like.
Exactly, because that's what fucking AD said for whatever reason. But the reality of the situation is that it was a Friday when I talked to AD. I called him on the phone and said, I want to move you off the Tuesday show. I got this guy Cord. I'm trying to have him be part of the podcast, yada, yada. And then Saturday, I was texting Lush and I told Lush. So the idea that I was like talking behind his back is kind of crazy. I was just telling the other co-host on the podcast that I had made this decision. And also I've heard people say Adam fired AD. That is not true either. Like AD at that time he was getting paid a salary, and he would have continued to do the Wednesday show, be on the news a couple of times a week, and we were trying to go daily with the We Hungry shit. Or not daily, but weekly. So it's like you already have literally like 4 appearances on the channel every single week. And but it was 5. I removed 1, and that was basically construed as such an offense. And a lot of people bought into this bullshit narrative too. So I got to give it to him because apparently it was pretty convincing.
I was like, the air haven't been cleared about that, because it's just like, all right, even if you did though, you had, and Lesh goes to a Discord and gets to talking you guys' business before it's public. But just say that you didn't talk to him. AD's feeling, well, now that I know the other perspective, it's like, fuck, I can't even finish my story. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, Lesh, if somebody vents to you and they haven't, and you go on a platform that you know that controversy sells, if you say anything controversial about what's going on after the house phone incident, anything you say about internal problems at No Jumper is going to get ripped. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people inside the Discord, whatever. You get what I'm saying?
No,
so
facts.
Now you're talking business that you didn't make it public yet. So now when they're coming for AD, it puts him into an ego.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, where, AD is someone who he has like a strong self-image or like a strong sense of his own self-worth. And so I do think that in that moment, him finding out additional details about shit from a random person in the Discord because Lush is a fucking leaky water faucet, I think that was offensive to him. But I think also you zoom out, it's been like a month or whatever, you could kind of look at it and be like, was that really like that big a deal? That like, and can you really put that on Adam? That Adam had a conversation with one of the other co-hosts about it. Like, how else was Lush supposed to find out? I told Lush because of the fact that he was going to know. He was going to show up on Tuesday, and AD's just not going to be there. I told him 3 days in advance. I mean, that's just fucking common sense. And that was painted as if I was talking shit behind his back. And now I'm kind of on my heels because I got to defend against that.
The timestamps add up to where you're not trying to choose sides because I'm here at No Jumper, but if you conversed with AD before you conversed with then there's no harm, no foul. The only thing is Lesh. And then did you say you were firing?
Never.
AD? That's what I'm saying.
Because
at the end of the day, that's not even. I don't even think that's worth beefing over or a motherfucker leaving. So it's like extra people in people's ear.
And y'all just heard it from the horse's mouth. He did not fire AD, which means I did not replace AD. So
well, on this particular show, that was kind of the plan.
Yeah, but
although they're always going to look at him as the AD replacement.
Oh, for sure. For sure. My DMs is going crazy.
They calling your mama a bitch too.
Man,
wait, really? They be on you like that?
I was a HICK lover.
That's crazy because
Hick. Bro, you can say Hick.
I don't know. Shit, I'm not trying to get into no bullshit.
You can say cracker. You can say all that shit. It's fine.
Oh, we
think on
can
Twitch
say
you can't
whatever,
say
but
that.
you can't say the shit.
For the most part. Although I wouldn't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's not a cool word to say just because of the fucking
No, but
pain
you
behind
can't
it.
diss Jewish people.
What is that word though? Doesn't that reference like trailer park white people?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think he's mistaken. He thinks it's
Yeah.
like a slur when it's. I don't think anyone really thinks hick is that
Yeah,
bad,
like
right?
redneck
Oh, okay. I was
hick.
scared to repeat it, but
Yeah,
I feel like on Twitch you probably can't say that. They'll get you out of
Hick,
there.
dude, hick is all
You
good.
can't even say
Yeah.
cracker.
You can't say cracker, but cracker is like specifically
Yeah,
racialized.
cracker
Okay.
is like
Hick
You,
isn't?
you could have a black hick for sure. Yeah,
Jesus.
they're
I
out
ain't know
there.
that. Yeah, hillbilly.
Anyway, I don't even know if it's worth like talking about this. We fucking talked about
Nah.
it for like 40 minutes or some shit. But I'm not gonna lie, it did feel good to just like sort of open it up there a little bit because my attitude has always been that if somebody works for me, if somebody's part of the team and they do right by me for the time that we're working together, that I'm never going to come out and have something negative to say about them afterwards. For the most part, I'm just not even going to talk about it, or I'm going to say positive things. And it's just kind of crazy for me to say something positive about T-Rell on the channel and then get met with like 30 minutes of just verbal diarrhea that has no fucking meaning about why he apparently resents me. So again, like my challenge to him is just like get views without talking about me. I think that that's really what like everybody, even in his fan base, obviously Back on Fig is doing well. He's got a consistent thing going and shit. But like in terms of viral stuff, in terms of you having a spike on the channel, it feels like it's damn near all associated with just talking about No Jumper.
Well,
so
here
that's
goes
the
another
challenge
week.
I'm putting out there.
There goes another week worth of content, 2 weeks.
Do you think the end all to the situation would be like a debate? You know, maybe like you guys sit down together.
I mean, based on what I saw him say in that clip, I don't know what the debate would be about. It doesn't seem like there's much of a debate.
It would probably have to end in like a agree to disagree type
Bro,
thing.
the entire debate would just be him arguing that it was a good idea for him to not ask for a raise.
Who would be a good mediator? Because that's the only way you can really go to.
Joe Biden.
Nah, that's my boy. Hold on. Let's clear the air.
Yeah, because then a lot of people
Hold
think
on,
that
hold on.
like you being here
Just
is a
'cause I'm
diss
from
against him.
6-0 and
Yeah.
he's from, that's my boy. I done been in Europe, Italy. Nigga, I done been all across the world with Trill.
I didn't know that.
Him, Rat Nitty, Crip Flicks, all of them, like, that Hoover shit is for right there on Figueroa and Slauson. We done been where we had to just be together in order to just be safe. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we all are gang members, so we all in that mode when we overseas, and like certain people that we with, they're not, and it's slime balls everywhere. So it's like we come together, and we've been with my relationship with Chris Brown and all that shit. I've been around them. They're my people. So you get what I'm saying? And I know Trail and Rat Nitty and them from back in the day, county jails and just shit. I used to be on 45th in Fig, and they right up the street. I used to be in the 40s a lot when I was a kid. So, you know what I'm saying? Just crossing paths, and we ain't never, you know what I mean? So it's like, shit, we don't got nothing to, you know what I'm saying? So just for the record, like all that narrative that y'all throwing out there about me and Trey, that's out. That's my boy. What him and Adam got going on is what they got going on. I'm speaking from my perspective because I can speak on it.
Say that
Point
because
blank, period.
that was the narrative.
Everybody got these boring ass gang narratives where they're like, "Oh, he's from here. He must hate everyone from over there." And it's like, bro, fools are grown men.
Grown men,
not
generals.
thinking about that
Well,
shit.
I'm glad
The
you're
fuck?
saying that as well, because I'm definitely gonna have that, conversation. I'm not a gang member, but people are gonna be like, "Oh, how could you sit here?" While
Yeah, you
this
being here
discussion's
was
being
not
had?"
intentional, for
And
the record.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect this conversation to be had when I was coming here, but also it's like you're saying, it's like a disagreement that's going on between two people that I know, and it's like. There's not a particular, it's like it's something that has to be settled amongst the two people who are having the disagreement.
It's
Me
safe
inserting
to say
myself
that
into
we've
it.
been in talks about this shit before any of this shit happened, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been knowing Brick Baby for, well, I guess when did we actually meet in person? Was it the interview, or we had ran into each other before that?
We ran into each other before.
Yeah.
Right before I went to jail, I want to say that when you first started,
Yeah,
when you went from on some shit to.
he was kind of
No
like a
Jumper.
boogeyman in my mind for a while because I would hear a lot about him and I wouldn't like really see him.
So you've known him since Melrose days.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
through
It's
Dub
shit,
and like
Dub. I feel like it might have been at the fucking. I'm trying to put a date to it. It might have been at the interview, but I don't think so. I really no. I ran into you before that for sure.
Yeah. On Melrose, it had to be.
But we always talked to each other, and then we always had like the mutual Zan lady.
but that's the weird thing about me and him though is that like people. There's always kind of like a narrative of like me and AD were such good friends. And it's like, I actually can remember. I met AD at a video shoot, and then I interviewed him, and then I seen him at Rolling Loud. And I'm pretty sure Rolling Loud 2019. So you're talking like 2018, 2019. I seen him 3 times. So that was our friendship before we got on camera. You know, and I'm not saying that obviously we developed more of a relationship on camera and everything like that. Yeah. But people be talking about it like we were fucking best friends fucking way back in the day before we were doing content. It's like I've been talked to you more times than I talked to him before this shit.
We were DMing from jail. You knew the day I went to jail. Like it's my boy.
He caught a case with my one of my closest friends, Dub.
Dub, for sure.
And I'm not saying nothing, like, I'm not saying all that to say nothing. I'm just saying.
No, it's just that we're locked in through some other shit. This shit don't have nothing to do with the narrative that's being thrown out there with all that shit.
And that's the thing about somebody like you is that, or Court or wherever, is that, like, I feel like I see how shit can play out with the host now if I'm not extremely explicit about what we're doing, you know? And that goes for other things. I've seen conversations about people saying, oh, so-and-so should have got a percentage of No Jumper from the very beginning. And it's like, okay, I don't think that I ever had to like really say that, but that's not how it works. This is how it works. You get paid or you get equity in lieu of payment. Yeah. My attitude has always been if somebody's going to be on the channel, I'm just going to pay them. Because I don't want to fucking give them a percentage of No Jumper or whatever. I don't even know how that would possibly work. Yeah. But that's how I always approach it. You get paid. And so like with somebody like you, it's like I want to build you up on this channel and continue to do more and more. And like I feel like you're going to have a lot of the opportunities that might have gone to some of those other guys beforehand. But you know, we got to just be real transparent and clear about everything. For sure. When it comes to conversations about money, you can't act like it's the biggest deal in the world to just have a conversation with me. Just holler at me. This is exactly the same as if me and you were selling drugs on the block. If you feel like you need a better percentage, just fucking ask me. If I'm the plug in this metaphor and you feel like you need a better percentage on whatever it is that you're selling, just let me know.
I wonder if that's how it works.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know if that's how it works, so we could probably ask him. He might have some life experience.
Listen, so it does work like that because
at a certain point you just cut out the dude.
Right, just say like you go into the plug and you just say a brick costs $22,000, right? Okay. Just talking. Mm-hmm. So say a brick is 22 racks. So you go into the plug, now you buying 5 bricks, but they still 22,000. You like, hey man, my boy down the street say you got a 19.5 number for me. And you don't get your act together, I'm about to be taking this 100,000 down the street. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, you could comply with it. And most of the time, if their number could be that, and this dude has a lot of this shit too. Yeah, they're working off the same system. You get what I'm saying? So,
and if you're buying in bulk, you deserve the discount.
Yeah, so it's like you go like, hey, I'm doing numbers now. You gotta drop that number, or I gotta get on. And usually it goes in the trapper's favor. You know what I'm saying? It might not be like, oh, I can't do 19.5. I could do like 25 and then 20.5 Like, yeah.
I never got to have that conversation. I never got to divvy up the value of the brick.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
motherfuckers left before they figured out what they were worth to me. It's kind of interesting.
I have that on a lower scale with like my weed guy. You know, if I buy an eighth, I get one price. If I buy an ounce or 2 ounces, he's like, hey, I got you $20 off. I'm like, cool, perfect.
$20 off?
That's cool. Or maybe 30. I don't know.
You don't know his price. He might be getting a low number off the rip.
True. Exactly.
It's not fitting on, bro.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I'm already kind of, I feel like, getting a good price in the beginning.
Thank you for that. While we're at it, I just want to say the MLB is finally back in full swing, and MyBookie is going to be your one-stop shop for all of your betting needs. With a wide range of betting options, including money lines, run lines, totals, and futures, MyBookie gives you plenty of ways to bet on your favorite teams and players. You can also take advantage of brand new MyBookie Money Bag, which gives you the chance to secure a bet on your favorite team or player at insanely boosted odds. Sign Sign up today at MyBookie and use promo code NOJUMPER, one word, to secure a first deposit bonus of up to $1,000. It's simple. Deposit $200 and play with $300 instantly. Just use promo code NOJUMPER to claim your bonus. So if you're a baseball fan looking to add even more excitement to the new season, look no further than MyBookie. Sign up now and get ready to experience the thrill of baseball betting like never before. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
I've seen Josh is already participating in this.
I seen Josh. Oh my God, I seen something I never seen before. I seen Josh post his bets and included the MyBookie screenshot on his Instagram story, and then I saw people on the internet tearing him apart for his choices.
Why? Because it was a bad team?
Oh, I went 0 for 3. I didn't pick any winners yesterday.
Oh my!
Because
God.
he's such a Boston supporter, right?
Yes, I went
You
all
can't bet with your
Boston
feelings,
bias.
Josh.
I went against LA teams. But I did want to tell the people about the No Jumper promo code when they signed up in MyBookie. So
Hey, every little bit helps.
few
Who
sign-ups,
knows?
Yes, sir.
Josh has got a lot of stands out
So
there.
was that the free 100 that you?
yeah, it's gone.
Oh my God. I've tried it before, and you have to be so invested into the teams because it like if a player like does better during another game, it upgrades or like it goes into the stats of the MyBookie shit, and then you could switch your team, and you have to be so invested. And like this is like for some diehard, sports fanatics for sure.
You want to know what I did this weekend? That I don't know if this is going to mean anything to anyone here. I might have to rely on Josh to communicate with me about this. Has anyone here ever heard of John Mayer?
Yes, his wife I've heard of, the crazy one.
He has a wife?
That's Johnny Depp.
No.
He said
No,
his
she
life. He
isn't
said-
John Mayer with the ultra woke lady that
I don't think he's ever been married.
Everything
no.
goes back to wokeness with you.
I'm thinking about someone else then.
Okay. So some of you have heard of John Mayer. Brick Baby, was that a no?
No,
Okay.
Singer, right?
Your Body is a Wonderland?
no.
Pause. But no, that's one of his songs.
Yeah, I know.
Very
that's
popular
what I'm
song.
saying.
Okay. Has anyone here ever heard of Inglewood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The place, yes.
Me and my girl hopped in the car, drove our asses down on Friday night to Inglewood, parked our asses in the premier parking section, and we watched John Mayer serenade that crowd right in the heart of Inglewood.
Wow.
And it occurred to me, I was like, this is weird. I never thought that I would be doing this. I never thought that I would be in Inglewood experiencing
Yeah,
it.
SoFi.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's
that's like the luxury in Inglewood.
Bro, I assume, yeah. I didn't really see anything that looked too treacherous. And I've been to Inglewood mad times. I was in fucking the back, in Slim 400's backyard. It was homie's backyard just talking shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Well, Inglewood is like a tricky part of the area because it doesn't look like what it is. Inglewood is very clean and they got big houses and shit, but it's a lot of gangsters live in Inglewood. And
I believe
and
it,
I'm
yeah.
from the other side. I'm supposed to say some other shit.
Oh,
But
okay. I
it's
forgot
a
about
lot
that.
of,
Yeah.
it's a lot of motherfuckers out there that'll get you right.
Much respect. No hate to anyone there.
Yeah,
John Mayer put on an amazing
Period.
performance in your city. But man, like this dude, John Mayer, who I've never gone out of my way to listen to him, but I did realize through watching him perform that my girl plays him around me all the time, and I just don't even notice because
It's one of those brainwashing things.
you know it's just
washing.
that like he's unbelievably talented and he's like a great songwriter, but it's just not really for me.
It's
So
meant for girls, probably, right? Like,
but bro, you wouldn't. I think the audience probably was like half and half from what I could tell. I would say that maybe I saw like 2.5 black people there.
I
It
was
was
about to say.
the whitest audience you have ever seen.
it's probably a lot of couples though, just like you
Oh,
were.
yeah.
You went with Lena, right?
Arms around, just
Yeah.
rocking back and forth. Like I'm talking 45-year-old white dudes just singing their hearts
my
out.
God.
Your body is a wonderland. Like getting so into it. And I'm just sitting there as a person who has no real emotional attachment to this music, just looking at everybody like, damn, like that? Like it really, this shit's fucking you up. That's crazy. But this is the thing. So normally when he goes on tour, he performs with a whole big band and everything. It was just him. There was never anybody else on stage besides him. He's sitting down playing fucking acoustic guitar, plugged in, whatever. And he's got this whole place on lock. I looked it up, 17,000 people
Jesus Christ.
locked into every fucking word this dude was singing. He goes and he hops on the piano. They're swapping out all kinds of different guitars. They got zoomed in close-up shots of his fingers. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's not really my cup of tea, but
Yeah, you said he's single, right?
I was impressed. I don't know if he's single, but
What?
I'm just
He
wondering.
rocked
No, okay,
out.
I'm not asking because of that. I'm just wondering,
What's
like,
up with
you want him to cuck you.
no,
No,
because
okay.
I think it was like on Valentine's Day. Riley and I went to some event where there was like this lady singer, right? And she was like on stage singing, and I'm just like, she's the only person on stage, and we're there. My only first time watching some show like this. So I'm like, I'm watching the performance, right? I'm like watching her sing. A couple times she's like making eye contact with me while singing, and I'm just like looking away. I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of awkward. And I'm just thinking like, what are you gonna do if John Mayer makes eye contact with Lena and he's like, I need a guest on stage. Come on here, you beautiful lady. Like,
we had decent tickets.
what are you gonna do at that?
So-
point?
He was not really in like eye contact making zone with people or anything like that. Although he was like, it was quite personal. There was people holding up signs and shit with like weird inside jokes that I don't get about John Mayer's music. And he's like pointing at them and saying like, I don't like that sign. And the cameraman fucking films the sign and shit. I was pretty like the performance, the way it was all put together. And he actually said something. He said, he was like thanking the crew. And he said, people think that this is easy because it's so simple, but the fact that it's so simple is actually what makes it really, really hard, which I can imagine. Like, they really have to be super on point, because if he does anything, like if he fucks up anything, it's just going to be fully magnified. Whereas like normally if a person's playing guitar or whatever, they could drop the pick, they could fucking break a string, whatever. Like, he's kind of just in the moment. It's like life or death.
Bro, you have to, like, if you miss a chord, you just have to keep playing and act and hope no one notices it, type shit.
They'll
It's just-
notice. You just gotta not care.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes people won't notice though if you like are confident as fuck and you're
Somebody
still gotta.
always notice in a crowd of
No, for sure.
Yeah, when you
17,000.
play it live and you're the artist and you're playing, yeah.
And if they got a huge
Yeah.
mega jumbo screen
Yeah, that's
zoomed
what I'm
in,
like.
showing your hand, doing.
Oh my god.
I mean, just.
You don't play the guitar, do you?
I do not, no.
Okay.
But when I do, I play it like Gingy Malmstrine or whatever. What's that dude's name?
I can't. Yo, I
Yeah,
forgot
you
the.
Jackrabbit. I'm more of like a stroker.
Whoa! You play guitar?
When I play it, I act like I'm like an old country.
But have you ever actually like tried to learn?
Nah.
I would love to see that. That would be amazing.
We should take classes.
Play a banjo.
That's not the worst idea I ever heard.
Bum-ba-dum-ba-bum.
We should.
Y'all wanna learn?
definitely
Well,
should.
you know how to
play
play
guitar?
Yeah.
He's in Dying
Oh my
Fetus.
God.
Of course he knows.
You just have all these like hidden talents. I feel like, Court, because you're like
Yeah.
so quiet into yourself with the shades
Bisexuality.
That's-
on. Bisexuality,
That's
guitar
definitely-
skills.
I
Going-
buy sex. Yeah.
That's
I'm,
definitely-
You are?
Yeah, he's bisexual.
No, I'm just-
he's definitely.
Nah, I'm saying I buy sex.
Nah,
You
no, no, no.
bisexuality.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You
have
gotta
an
be careful where you say
infatuation
that.
with assholes. I don't think that it matters. If
You
it's-
have an infatuation
You told
with
me
my
that-
infatuation
So
with
that's
assholes.
what I'm saying. So
Oh my
does it
God.
matter if it's a male or female? I don't think so.
Oh, it matters.
It matters, yeah. You ever smelled the nigga butt?
Have you?
No, but I don't
Yeah,
want
I'm
to.
just saying. You
I've been in a locker room.
I was gonna say
What's
we've
your-
all been in a locker room. We've
Yeah.
smelled someone else's butt before.
Would you rather
I
smell
smell
your
my
ass?
I smell my ass.
But all right, so
on
would
some
you rather
bad
smell
days, man.
your ass or Adam's girl's ass?
What?
You can answer honestly, because there's one answer is gay and the other one is not gay, and I'll leave that door open for you.
Smelling my ass is not gay.
And how are you gonna?
Smelling your own
It's my
ass?
How are you gonna
That's
accomplish
kind
that?
of gay. Yeah.
If you smell my girl's ass, that's kind of disloyal, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, but
although
would
in this
definitely-
hypothetical, I would understand.
I'm
you know?
definitely scared of pink eye, so I'm not just digging noses and like
Lena,
the mouth.
oh
the
my
clean
mouth
your
God.
booty.
maybe, but the
Sometimes you
I-
gotta whiff your like boxers to be like, whoa, what the
yeah,
fuck?
you gotta
What's that
smell.
smell?
Your ass.
That shit's
You-
crazy.
Yeah, like,
Yo,
bro,
you a wild
bro.
nigga. You're
You
bro,
never,
So
you,
you don't smell your ass
no. I don't got to.
like before you get in the shower.
Well, if I'm getting in the shower, why I need to know what it smell like before?
Because I need to know, like, nigga, I'm getting some pussy. I need to know, like, damn, was my
Oh,
ass
you
just
have
smelling
sex.
like that shit?
I smell
you
the toilet
have
paper
sex.
sometimes.
You smell the toilet paper?
Whoa,
when it's white?
It's been
That's
a long time,
crazy.
but when I was younger, it was more like I was.
Is it like white?
No, I've
Wait.
evolved from not even looking at the
Adam.
toilet paper anymore.
Adam.
Much
You
less-
Is it
look-
white? No, it's
No.
brown.
Adam, no, you know what I'm saying? At the end.
Oh, at
But
the
what I
end.
was saying is, right? Which way do you wipe? You just went like
Oh yeah, I
this.
do it from the front. I don't know if that's controversial or not.
That is
Get the
controversial.
fuck
What
outta
the
here.
Fuck?
That's just how I'm living.
And you do
Listen,
porn?
I will argue
So
this
you happen to
till
have
the
shit
end of the
nuts from
earth.
time to time.
You got
I don't-
chocolate. You got chocolate frosted balls for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And this podcast is not about explicit humor or jokes
Oh,
by
Oh,
any
no, it's
means.
not. No, it's
but this
not.
is what I'll do. A typical wiping. I feel like I just get like a way better scoop.
You can't.
And
No.
there's a lot of different styles of wiping your ass.
Yeah, it
There's the
is.
scoop
There is.
and there's the blot. And when I say the blot, I mean like picture this is your asshole. You go.
No, bro.
You have
it's
to
like
blot one time,
you want to
though.
get a print.
You have
it's
to
like a
If
fingerprint.
it's too wet, you have to blot one time
My shit
before
ain't-
you get to.
You see, this is the issue of a person who like sits down when they pee a lot. It's like you're just used to doing this underhanded thing, which is
I've been doing it my whole life, and I tried to do it from the back, and it just doesn't really feel right to me.
Whoa.
even
Hey.
What the fuck?
And I've done.
I'm
I've
gonna
also.
advocate for
Hey,
this.
I've experimented with both. I've done the frontward scoop and the backward slide. Put them both
crazy.
together, and bro, if you got a fucking damaged asshole like mine that has had many hemorrhoids over the years,
Jesus.
you will discover different crevices and different pockets of poop in. Josh, are you about to back me up, or are you about to
I'm
humiliate me?
100% gonna back you up.
Cra-
to
yes.
this. Back to front, you are going to get more of everything.
You're doing it blind.
you
Yeah.
guys wipe the same way as well.
Yeah.
That's my
By
crow.
instinct.
That's
my-
crazy.
I've been doing this my whole life too. This
Hey,
is not
yo,
something that
now
was
listen, now
learned
listen.
Yo,
later
what
in
the
life.
Now listen,
fuck?
I was crazy story. I was in jail with an Islander dude from like the
Island Boys,
No, yeah.
Fly Soldier.
Oh
Damn, you
shit!
tapped in with everybody.
Like, that's wrong
So no, what they do is like like in the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. Don't have me quoting something. I'm not being racist, but I ran into two of them. Right? They squat. First of all, they sit on the toilet. Even in jail, they like squat over the toilet.
You
What
poop
shoes
better
you got
that
right
way.
now? Oh, some Louis.
Some Louis.
Oh, you had some Osiris
Both
D3s or something.
I got plenty of Osiris D3s.
Okay.
We
We gotta go to the skate park one day.
Yeah. So, no, they get water. They don't wipe at all. They get the milk carton. Well, I don't know what they use at home, but they had the milk carton, and it was two separate people, like 3 months
I'm
apart
so
from each other,
interested.
and they just.
I've
What-
heard
of-
what-
I've-
what's
I've
the
heard of this
sound?
before.
Like a
What is
bidet.
it?
But use your hand. You basically use your hand to clean.
Yeah, but it's
I forgot what culture it was, but I was watching this YouTube video where this
But
guy
I'm like,
goes
can
around.
You get like can you get the?
You could probably do way better without a
'Cause
napkin, just your finger.
One of them
honestly.
was kicking. One of them was kicking off of. So it had to be slimy, wet. You've quit drugs before, haven't you? You went through that.
I've had diarrhea for a good chunk of my life. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Drugs or
So
not.
just imagine.
It might be
just
easier to
imagine.
wipe diarrhea than a solid turd, to be honest.
All I need
But
is carbs and
what
gluten.
I'm saying is,
I'm shitting.
you can't get all of that because it goes everywhere.
But so you're saying that they get a milk carton, fill it with water, and like
then,
just
like,
use the
pouring
water
it
to.
down.
Oh, they
They're like,
pour it.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. Here we go. If a girl takes a shit, so you got a girl over your crib, and it's not your girl, it's a jump off, if you will. It's a girl you haven't spent a ton of time with, and she takes a shit in the bathroom. Is she allowed to wash her hands and just hop into the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron would disagree. There's an old Cameron skit in which he basically like kicks a girl out of his crib because she takes a shit and then hops in his bed right after, and he considered that disgusting. And I remember listening to this. I was pretty young. I was probably like 24 or something, 25 when the skit came out. And I've tried to find this skit mad times. I don't know where the fuck it is. Somebody link me in the comments or tell me what to search. But he felt like a girl taking a shit was just reason enough that she couldn't come back to his bed,
you
which to
see,
me is kind of astonishing.
Cameron's spoiled with women. You know what I mean? That's like the same thing as like you ask like a rich kid, you want Perrier or normal water? And a lot of people are gonna be like, I'm cool with the normal water. You know what I mean? The rich kid's gonna be like, Perrier for me, please. You know what I mean? Like I do no other thing. I feel like Cameron's in the same shoes where he's just like his options are so wide and vast that he's like he's able to be particular with things.
Yeah, when you're a rich rapper, you get to have all kinds
But
of preferences.
It
Yeah,
depends
exactly.
on what he's saying. Did she hop in trying to get hit, or did you hit already? Like, if you already fucked and she goes to take a shit and hop back in the bed,
I
it's
don't
cool.
care.
He was looking to
it's
lick the
like,
booty
now,
potentially.
If you know we about to get cracking and you take a shit and bring your shitty ass back over here, you should have hopped in that water
Bring
for
it.
like 2 seconds real quick. Shh, it got it together. Then hop back in the
But
bed.
my thing is that 95% of the time that I have sex, I'm not interacting with the girl's booty hole in any way at
But
all.
what if it slides on your the fact that you know she just shitted and you're
I'm not really worried about that.
That's
I
the thing,
trust her
though.
to wipe her own butt.
but
If you're hitting the doggy style position, it's gonna
That's
be
cool.
right
That's
there.
cool.
The smell,
That's
the
not-
sight.
She should have an insecurity. Like, what if she left a fucking chip and she slides on the
A
fucking
chip?
Like a
Yeah.
ship.
What if she
A corn kennel.
chocolate chip, yeah, and she fucking slides on your fucking blanket or something.
Right.
Dead homies, you gotta go home. You leave a shit mark in my
On
bed.
your
you
blanket.
Have a thong on.
If I don't
have
know her,
boxers
if I
on.
don't have any kind of like emotional connection with her, and she leaves a big shit stain in my bed,
It's over.
I feel like all the positive things I was thinking about her up to that
It's
point are
over.
kind of out the window.
I had
Now
a
my
bitch
girl can
leave
shit the bed. It's all good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
I'll
love
wipe
you.
her ass.
I love you, bitch.
Yeah, I'll wipe her ass. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll wipe
no.
her ass. Yeah.
I had a bitch that was staying with me and my bitch. We were doing the third girlfriend thing this is before I went to jail, and my girl hated her. At the end of the day, she was so like fucking sloppy, and she bought some shitty ass drawers in the fucking room and showed them to me, and I immediately kicked her the fuck out the house forever, and she stole about $8,000 because her clothes were in this closet where I had a whole lot of tens. Like, I put shoe boxes up with just 5s, 10s, and 1s every month. Like,
In the
you know what I'm
past.
saying? Yeah. Yeah, in the past.
Right.
I'm never doing it again. I got robbed.
All right.
So
we
it's
gotta
like,
do that story sometime.
no. So what it is that after you break a bill, like whatever I come home with that's under a 20, I just
I feel you.
put it up because it's like this world you can't buy.
You spending
anything.
cash?
For me?
You go get gas? You're spending cash?
No, I'm a corporate. I get paid in checks now, so no.
Oh, okay. I don't. I never have cash, and then
Yeah.
once in a blue moon, I feel like fucking shit because I can't pay the valet guy, or I
Yeah,
can't tip
you
him.
can't tip them, right?
Yeah.
I was
That's-
credited
I
for a
think
while,
That's an
but
excuse. I think you should start going to the ATM.
I think it's good to keep at least like around $40 to $50 on you in cash because it's so annoying to run into places and like
Yeah.
just it's so much faster and convenient.
We know you're sober.
I'm on my like Ron
That's
Swanson
very
shit, but
sober
it's just
of you.
like the OG way is better sometimes.
But sometimes you go
give them a
to-
10 and you're out.
I will go to a nice restaurant with my girl, and
10.
at the moment when I'm having this realization of like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to tip this valet guy. There is no ATM nearby because rich people don't really consider it that important to have ATMs nearby because
Yeah.
they use credit cards and
Yeah.
because if they're going to need cash, they probably have cash on them or whatever. But I don't know. For me, it's just like, and I'll do it sometimes. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna put $100 in my pocket just in case I need it, and then like 3 weeks later, I have not used it once. It's wrinkly as fuck in my pocket. It's wet from sweat. And then I just put it in a drawer somewhere, and I'm like,
Bro, remember
I just
when
don't
everyone
need to carry cash?
remember when everyone's mom would always keep money in their bra? And then
Oh,
like
I
they
love
would go,
sweaty
they would,
money.
yeah, they would go to the
Sweaty
store,
titty.
would take out a fucking $5 that's
It'd be
just covered in
soaked.
bra sweat. Exactly, bra sweat, and hand it to. My mom used to do that all the time, and at one point I had to tell my mom, like, Mom, it's gross, dude. Like,
She's
if
Russian.
if I was the attendee at Ralph's, I'd be so bummed to receive a titty 20. Like,
And that's why
You don't know
that-
what type of perv it is.
you got to keep a 400-pound morbidly obese woman around you so that she can keep a couple of Glocks and a fucking $20,000 tucked into her gigantic
Yeah.
fucking flabby titties.
Oh,
Oh,
Shaking his head, yeah.
Court, but Court, you'll suck the titty sweat up.
Yeah.
Off
That's
a 20?
For sure.
Off
It depends on.
to me, money is so nasty
bro,
that
that's the other thing. Money is already dirty too.
yeah,
You
like
need
money is
that
one of the
dirt
grossest things.
for your
Period.
immune system. You
Yeah,
need
you
to
do.
build.
You
your
definitely
immune
do.
system.
So we should all lick a couple dollar bills
Yeah, fuck
once
yeah.
or twice a day.
Go straight to the strip
Oh,
club.
when you're doing blow though, it's not dirty. You just snorting all that.
I know,
ass.
that's
Oh yeah,
true.
yeah. That's why that's all bad, and that's why I've had cokeheads around me in the past who came equipped with some nice straws. Never mind like a
Yeah.
stainless steel
Yeah,
straw,
bro.
like real deal
Yeah, that's
shit.
a real coke.
You ever ran into the real cokeheads who have the little
yeah.
spoon necklace, and then
That-
sometimes they'll even
yeah.
have a little
A
like
little bullet.
a little thing
They
that's
got the
meant to
little
carry
bullet.
cocaine. I'm like, it
Come
seems
on,
so
it's a
classy,
bullet.
but to be using cocaine on such a consistent basis that makes sense to use for you, that's crazy.
That's why you got to keep your pinky nail grown out like an extra inch. You keep them fools around. Ah.
That's an easy giveaway.
The realest cokeheads, they keep $2 bills in their wallet because they're less circulated than the regular bills.
That's like
So
smoking
it's
a
cleaner?
cigarette through a glass.
It's
filter.
cleaner.
If you're
yeah.
doing coke, you have no right to
With
be a fucking germaphobe.
If you're gonna
Like,
keep a $2 fucking bill around, why not keep a wad of Post-it notes with you? Because it's still
Yeah,
just paper.
It's paper.
or
Doing
plastic straws.
mad
Or a
coke.
fucking
At
card,
least you-
a
at least
playing
you can
card.
spend
Yeah,
your
anything.
$2.
Well,
What
rolling up a playing card is gonna be kind of tough.
But you
right?
put the tape on it. I've been in jail with the
Just cut a
best of
straw.
them. Nah, they do and it slides up.
Every
doesn't
straw
stick on
is
the
3
side.
Coke
You know what I mean?
stems.
Are you guys down to do like a scripted video in which he's like a sort of like brick kingpin dude and you're like the street
I'm with
Coke dealer?
it. I'm with
Yeah.
it.
Because it's like you both are kind of like occupying different spaces in my brain, and I feel like we could really do something.
What's my role?
Yeah, I'm down.
Snitch.
You're-
No,
Junkie.
oh my
No,
god, I come
you're
in.
the driver, bro. You never get pulled over as long as you keep the
Oh,
little thing.
just don't wear a
Yeah.
hat or a hoodie and
Like,
just drive
yeah,
around.
for
I'll be good.
sure.
Keep
Nah,
the
you
glasses on with this thing in particular.
If he
Yeah.
wanted to not get caught up, though, he would have to rock like a different type of look. don't
Oh,
you
that's
think?
definitely Coke Boy.
Yeah.
It is?
They're looking at that fit, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh no,
fit.
no, no, no."
Yeah.
I don't really get pulled over that often, regardless. You know what I mean? Like
You have to go
Yeah.
like relaxed
Yeah.
Docker.
Doc,
Khaki-
Doc, oh, wait,
Khaki
Doc.
colored
Yeah.
Dockers and a collar.
All right, so here's an open question for the group, since probably some people are watching this right now. They probably got turned off by the butthole talk and the Coke talk, but some people maybe are watching this cast who haven't necessarily seen us before. So I'm gonna just throw out, well, not me, but maybe some of you guys, but I'm gonna throw this out there. What y'all do this weekend? Give me a tidbit.
Oh, nigga.
White to black.
I'm
Black to white.
particularly interested in you because you ain't been here too long. LA,
So,
this round.
I slept for 2 days and then
Slept for 2 days.
I'm looking for people that have like more exciting weekend.
You
tales
sound like
than
you
me.
literally sound like you still just woke up.
Depression.
I thought my weekend was boring. He just took the cake. All right, you slept for 2 days.
Yeah, but on the second day, I woke up and I went like to Melrose to get like just hang out. So Angel Reese getting a tattoo. Didn't realize-
The fucking basketball player girl. Yeah, her.
yeah.
How'd you know it was her? And where the fuck were you that
bitch
you
is
saw her?
6'3".
She was at
Really?
Dub. She
Yeah, I
stopped
knew
by
so.
awful lot of concert this weekend.
Yeah,
Shut
she
the
did.
fuck up,
She
really?
out here signing deals.
She
and
can't-
Oh yeah, I saw she was gonna be there.
Yo, as her manager, I'm gonna say that she probably should not wear awful lot of cough syrup. That might not be the best for her image.
Nigga, she walked off.
She already
the
giving.
only
She already
She was chilling by herself.
She
By
already
herself.
giving, never going broke again.
son. I wanted to rob this bitch.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie, like,
Christ.
Oh,
I was looking at Dub's Instagram story over the weekend, and
He
he
was lit.
It shit looked like it was a blast. Because I always
Mhm.
ask people about Melrose, and they're always like, "Oh, it's dead. There's like, just so much crime. The shit is over."
Nah.
But when I was looking at that, I was like, "Damn, this shit looked like a good time right there."
Melrose has been there for like 20 plus
Yeah,
years as
like-
the fashion district and like the cool place to go, and always has these waves. At
I
least
ran
I've
into
noticed.
Dub this weekend like crazy out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Like I was driving to go pick up my other car. I was dropping one car off and picking up another car. So I'm driving out to wherever I'm going to go do that, right? And I just happened to need fucking cigarettes. So I just pull off at a random exit. I think I was like on Sepulveda in Washington. I just pulled over. And Dub comes flying in his car. He's like, "Oh, my daughter just threw up in the car." Bro.
Oh shit!
And he got 4 kids with him. And then I go on his Instagram like 2 hours later. He got like, I'm like, you're living the double life for sure right now. He had 2 car seats in the back and a kid in the fucking front.
What a
And it was
coincidence!
just him with throw up all on the. So
Oh my god!
I'm like, yeah.
The
that's
life
that
of a
daddy's
dad,
day.
dude.
Yeah,
But
I
not
was like-
just a dad, but a dad like a lit ass
But
dad.
like, how real was it to run into like one of your close homeboys that could help you clean that shit up real fast? Because he was
Oh,
in
you
the
helped
did?
him out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that.
I
I, would have been
know.
like, "Damn, Dub, that's a lot to clean up. Good luck."
yeah, I know that sucks. Goodbye.
I'm just gonna be the fuck out of here right now. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
but
go for
I
it. Go
I
ahead.
actually kind of had like a pretty eventful weekend where I finally set up my like live streaming backpack where I can like do a like have a live view set up and have a camera on my shoulder and I could use both my hands and actually stream around LA with like better quality and shit. So
Let me ask you that though: is IRL streaming dead, or you feel like it's still popping?
I think it's like such a niche market that no one does that
Niche.
like a niche that it's
Niche
a
or niche?
it's a lane that no one's
that
in
tomorrow.
because it's too expensive and complicated, but I feel like it's a lane that can definitely grow, and no one wants to do it because I'm saying it's just to use this thing is $500 a month in service fees.
Really?
Yeah, it's $500 a month in service
shit.
fees. The equipment just by itself is like $2,000 in total. So it's like just the financial entrance point is very high. I'm very grateful that I'm able to at least afford the couple months that I am right now. But then it's complicated as hell, dude. I had to reach out to like a hella other people that do the same thing, and I had to ask them for hella help to get this shit started with the chat on screen and all. It's super complicated, dude.
I support you doing it because I feel like that is like a style of streaming content that will never get old to certain people because it's always has that element of risk and like anything could happen and people love that. And that's the problem when you do streams where you're just sitting in your house or whatever. It's like at a certain point people just start to figure out like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. So they just tune out, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're in public, and that's like why I look at that and there's like a tiny part of me that's like, ooh, I would love to do that. And then I'm like, nah, you're going to get shot.
Bro,
you're going to get hit by, someone's going to do, there's going to be a terrorist attack on you. Like, something will happen.
I definitely have that fear, but I've kind of like just accepted the risk where I'm like, bro, this is what I want to do, and it's just like, what am I gonna do? Just like live in fear in my fucking bedroom?
No, and I think it's perfect for you because you don't have.
I'm
that
not on
level
your
of
celebrity. Yeah,
that you
that's
could do it.
social media fear, though, Adam. Like, that's really social media fear. Like people that not like that. Like rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers and shit that's been dying due to jury and whatever the case is, but. People are putting themselves in that position. Like, it's still a whole lot of fun going on in Los Angeles. Like, you're not just everywhere. There's not robbers just popping out of nowhere. It's like, hey, you have to be humble out here and, like, put that shit up. Like, don't draw any attention to yourself. If you're going to go have fun without trying to attract attention to yourself. Right now, it's like it's like another recession going on. But before that, like, even when people that rob, when they see too much and they're so greedy that they'll go for it anywhere. And you know what I'm saying?
Do you think me wearing that backpack with the camera on my shoulders?
No, sir.
They
crazy?
don't know how much
No,
that
sir.
costs.
They don't even give a fuck about that.
Really?
Shit.
Okay.
It's like you're shining the light on it now, but at the end of the day,
I know what the fucking price points
it's
I
not
mentioned.
$2,000. They don't even know where to go to sell that shit. It's the fact that this is what rappers are telling you need to have on in order to be like have status where you from. You gotta have 10 chains on. You gotta do this, that, and other. But they not telling you that they not coming outside the hotel room without 5 security guards.
You know what? Last night I'm sitting there watching Succession, amazing show. I'm not going to tell you guys to watch it because it's 4 seasons and it seems pretty unlikely that you're going to watch all of it. But amazing show, Succession. It's almost done. We're sitting there, me and my girl, and we just hear, pow, pow. We pause the TV. We're just listening real close. Pow, 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 pow.
Oh my god.
She's just staring at me.
Where's Parker?
She's sleeping. Don't go to the most morbid scenario. And then a little bit more time passes and we just hear one more. At first, we're thinking like, oh, it's
firework.
Or it's a fucking car or something, you know, it's like backed up or whatever. I don't know what it's called. But and then like, you know, we hear all that and she starts looking it up on the Citizen app. Other people, like at least like 1 or 2 other people heard the same thing. And then I go outside, blickied up to investigate.
Yeah.
Maybe help out the cops if anything.
Yeah.
Shoot someone.
Maybe officer involved homicide. No. And there was nothing. Like no cops came.
Yeah, they won't.
I was looking for you know, and it's like the area that we're in. If someone were to have got shot, it would be like the fucking end of the world. Like it would just be like such a big deal. Like and it's like I can't imagine that other people didn't report it and shit or didn't call the cops, but there was no result. No closure on this. No idea what the fuck happened. So
somebody testing out a gun in their backyard.
Exactly.
I'm still just
the area that I'm in. I experience that at least a couple times a month. Where
really,
yeah, dude. Where I hear shit and then I'm like, that for sure is not a firework, and I'm expecting, you know, police to show up, and then they don't show up.
Because that's going to confirm it in your head, like, oh, something did happen.
Exactly.
And then it doesn't happen, and you're like...
That means there's no victim.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like,
no victim,
dude,
nobody gives a fuck.
You want to hear something crazy?
Or I just want to hear a scream.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Or like, you know, that like something to make it make sense.
It's just to assure you. Yeah,
bro, one time I was on stream. It was like a long time ago, and I heard a fucking gunshot, and the stream heard it too, right? I was like, yo, that's crazy. I ended the stream like an hour or two later, and then I go on like Citizen app or just the news trying to see like what happened in my area, and someone got shot and killed like a block away. At the time that I was on stream, and I realized I'm like, I heard that shot. I killed someone. I was like, it was like kind of tripping me out. I was like, holy fuck, it's kind of insane. This happening in my area, you know what I mean? Like, but also like you were saying earlier, one thing I've noticed. LA. One thing I've noticed is like,
but is that like because there's such different worlds in LA. Like my girl from Glendale, And she talks about like the hood of LA like it's another fucking world
Yeah,
sometimes,
and
where like
it's right up
because
the
she
street.
didn't grow up around that shit. But to me, it's like I grew up on the other side of the country. Like I am not from LA. You are from LA. You may be from Glendale, but you're from fucking LA as far as I'm concerned.
Still got to be a little tough, huh?
To her, it's like she talks about high school, like she never heard of a gang. She don't know nothing about nothing like that.
Yeah.
Some shit, you know. It's like, but
There's not a lot of gangbangers going to Glendale High. You know, they're probably going
It's
to.
fucking
I don't know.
Armenian gang members.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Sure.
AP and shit like
Yeah,
that. That's
for
true. There was a
sure.
lot of those people in Hollywood High. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, every time I've looked into some of these like crime things that are happening in LA, one thing I've noticed is like it's more likely to happen where two people have a feud, someone robbed someone or something happened. It's like the smaller percentage of shit is the random robberies. The higher percentage of shit is like beefs happening, you know, and also people walking around with diamond chains, Rolexes, and stuff like that happening. If you're not walking around with, you know, a huge Cuban that's covered in diamonds and a Rolex, you're probably not gonna get robbed, you know?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I would also say that probably the majority of the violent crime is happening like in the hood where
No.
people ain't got shit going on.
No,
right?
look up the statistics of where a lot of robberies and armed robberies
It's
are happening.
mostly in
It's
richer
West
areas
Hollywood,
now?
Beverly Hills, you know, all the nice areas is
Nobody
where it's
to
happening.
rob in the hood.
robberies.
Uh,
Yeah. Shootings is probably still
Shooting.
more.
Oh
in-
yeah,
But
probably.
like
Yeah,
in
for
terms of like
sure.
people trying to take something.
So you guys, I'm not gonna say that I did this weekend, but so I had a friend in rehab, and he kind of forced me to throw something over the gate.
Oh,
what the fuck? Look at this guy.
Oh, he's dabbing him
Look
up.
how
Bro.
you can decipher what went on there by how far Court's arm had to go for a brick to be like. Wait a minute.
Fuck sobriety.
Where the fuck is the rehab and what do you have going on? If someone asked me to do that, I don't think I got time for it. I'm gonna be
I
totally
got
honest with you.
time.
It's Malibu.
So you just took a drive up there?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you got the whole fucking rehab is gonna be fucked up
No,
tonight?
see, that's what I'm saying, bro. I told them don't do no bullshit like that, and because they was like crying on my phone, damn near.
Should have
I'm
took
like,
me with you.
fuck, cuz.
Did you feel like
I
any-
didn't sell? I don't sell drugs. Like I keep my little personal shit. So it's
like a friend thing.
Just a couple of them, bro. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, does this shit? I'm like, bro, let me come sleep in there with you, because if I do this, I have a problem.
Wow.
Did you feel any like guilt, like, oh man, I'm supporting this thing that, you know, is like a negative aspect in his life or some shit?
You don't see it in my face.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. It's not something you're proud of.
I
Because
can see it in how long it took you to say that sentence. That you like as you were saying it, you were like, man, maybe I shouldn't say
Man,
that.
I
It's
shouldn't
pretty
say
bad.
this shit.
Bro,
Yeah,
I've been in
fuck.
similar shoes before, where like one of my friends a long time ago was in a rehab situation, but it was because he had done something and that was his way out of jail.
Yeah, jail. He
Was
did
like
that.
the rehab, right?
Yeah.
And at one point, one of my other homies was like, we would go visit him, you know, just to spend time with him and shit like that, right? And my homie would bring a pack of cigarettes, and you would always give him a pack of cigarettes. And I would just think like, yeah, you're just giving him cigarettes, right? And then one day, like after a couple visits, I see at my homie's house, he's like stuffing the cigarettes with like
With weed.
weed and other stuff. And I'm just like,
That's
I was like, we've
crazy.
been giving this guy in rehab fucking laced cigarettes. And
So
you just-
for the
I was like,
record,
bruh.
I asked what you guys did this weekend. Court slept for 2 days straight. Brick Baby smuggled drugs into a rehab, and Yuri.
I didn't finish my story.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Oh, so basically, I grabbed one of those Lime electric scooters, and I had this mission of going from the Valley to Hollywood, and I had to take the freeway basically because there's no other way to do it. The Coinga Pass only goes
You
one
for
direction.
Sure got on the freeway with a scooter. Look at him.
While I'm
That'll be
live stream.
viral. There's a clip of Yuri on a Lime scooter on the fucking 405.
But, like, what was the 101?
101.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
And fuck, I basically, yeah, I had done that. It was a pretty good time. I almost got hit by a car like twice, and fuck, what the fuck else happened? I forgot. What basically it was like kind of like a whole shit show where I almost died multiple times on stream, but it was really fun. And basically, I'm just happy that I was able to take a scooter from the Valley to Hollywood over the freeway successfully on stream.
I'm proud of you.
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of Yuri.
That's
Anyway,
what I did this weekend.
You know what? I had a fucked up encounter with a Lime scooter because one of my favorite weekend breakfast spots is this spot called Republique in West Hollywood.
Breakfast Republic?
No, it's called Republique.
Republic.
I don't know. Maybe are we talking about the same one? It's on La Brea.
Yes, it's Breakfast Republic.
Make it sound fancy. Go ahead.
I
make it sound
mean, you might want to look up the website just so we can show that you're.
Republic.
I know. And I told my girl this weekend, I said, I think I'm going to start calling it Republic because Republique sounds kind of gay. But anyway, we went there and it's like, you got to pull up like mad early if you want to just get in, no problem, because they have like a line that fucking stretches out of there pretty hardcore if you get there too late. And so we show up, but like normally we show up right when it opens at like 9 and there's no line. And then this time we showed up like fucking right on time, and there was a long-ass line that we had to wait in. Not that long. We were probably in line for like 20, 30 minutes, but there was like all these Lime scooters that are just blocking the fucking sidewalk, and people are walking down the sidewalk, and between the line and this massive fucking mob of 5 different Lime scooters, it's like the people who are walking on the street are just like bumping into the people in line, and like it's just fucking a terrible environment for this situation to be encouraging. So even though this isn't my neighborhood or anything, I go over there, and I've never rode a Lime scooter. This has never really appealed to me, never had a reason to do it. I think I might have hopped on somebody's bird one time for like 2 minutes just to see how it felt, but I go over there and I start picking them up and wheeling them into like a decent
safe spot.
Right,
safe
so
zone.
that the fucking traffic won't be totally
You're
fucked up
actually
on the
being a
street.
good Samaritan.
Thank you. And as I'm doing it,
Sam.
I'm thinking in my head, this is so unlike me. Like I would normally never do
I would
something
never
like this
expect you to waste your time
because
doing that.
it's just not really like
who
me
gives
to
a fuck?
to care about the experience of the people walking down the street. But it's kind of affecting me because I'm standing there with my girl and my kid, and people are
like
fucking walking
bumping
into
into
us
the
and
fucking-
shit. But with these Lime scooters, when you go to move it, it starts playing the fucking Squid Game theme song. It's like, it starts playing the most fucking annoying noise while I'm trying to be a decent citizen, and I just give up right away. I'm just like, okay, never
It's
mind.
like
I'm not doing this.
That and how old is your baby?
2.5. And yeah, everybody in the line is staring at me now
Exactly.
all of a sudden because I'm making so much noise and I'm trying to like not call attention
Like,
to
I'm
myself.
helping you.
You look insane and shit.
Bro, it pissed me the fuck off.
So
yeah.
Josh, who is right over here? Over Republique, over Breakfast Republic?
Yeah, it looks like
You
Republic.
searched Breakfast Republic.
But is that
No,
does
that-
that look like the spot?
Type in REP. See, you're biased towards him because you searched the thing that he said. IQQUE.
There you go on the
Why
bottom.
the
right?
fuck would you delete everything you just typed to type it again?
It's right there.
I want to
Okay,
teach you
so-
about Google and typing so bad.
Republic.
Republique.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a different spot.
I'm still stuck on the fact that y'all don't wipe y'all ass the right way.
Don't change the
What do you mean?
subject.
Oh, them. Okay.
Republique is a French-inspired bakery, cafe, bar, and formal dining room located in the mid-city neighborhood of Los Angeles. Boom.
I'm gonna check it out.
Are you guys in 2 different spots?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was talking about some other bullshit.
No, that
He's
place
talking
is
about
really
Denny's.
good too.
Is the menu in French?
No.
I know, right? Did you get snails? At
I have to
Breakfast
take
Republic?
a piss, so I'm going to request that you guys watch this clip and comment on it while I'm emptying out my urethra. Be right back.
I really have to take a piss as well, but I'll wait.
You guys play swords.
I know we'll
He
just do a
wants-
break.
He wants
That's all
to play
good.
swords.
Let's go pee at the same time.
Okay, so guys, we're going to check out this clip of apparently a person with no arms calls a woman the N-word.
Yo,
What do you
that's
do if
crazy.
someone disabled like this starts attacking you
You
verbally?
fucked that nigga up.
Hey, he used the word. He used the N word. It's over with.
You damn skippy.
So I'm slapping the fuck out of him.
If this nigga even say Nigel, it's over. Bow! Bow!
What?
Yeah!
Bro.
Yeah! Kick that nigga back in. Stupid. What you thought this was?
What the fuck? But he having a bad day, man.
It's like, yeah, he deserved it because you
having a
shouldn't be
bad- yeah.
saying that, but
But-
he's obviously super disabled, bro. Like, oh, just that kick to a.
Like, what the
the
fuck
shit
was
out
he
that
even
nigga.
thinking? Like, it's 3 big ass black people right there. Like, you did that. That's like a motherfucker. That's crazy.
Yo, that's
bro.
a free kick.
Hey, yeah.
Free
Yeah,
kick.
That's what he do.
Ah.
That's what he deserved it.
Do you think
Yo.
he's gonna learn his lesson? You think next time he won't do that?
No.
You can't block that shit or
No,
nothing. It's a
no.
free kick.
That
And
shit
it-
is instilled in him, and he's probably like on drugs
Oh.
due to his condition. It's like a
Yeah.
mental health thing, and it's like he's on some fuck the world type shit at this point. He didn't care if they killed him.
I could watch
Yeah.
that kick over and over.
No, bro. I know we are just watching the
Wow.
replay. Oh shit. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
it's
Wait.
hard to watch because he's fully disabled. He can't defend himself, but he shouldn't be doing things that that instigate such a reaction.
Is that Broadway Lafayette?
So did you? While we on racial slurs and supposedly racial activity,
What's
you
up?
guys hear about the E40 situation?
Nah.
E40 was just kicked out of a basketball game with the Golden State Warriors against Sacramento.
Oh yeah.
They said that he was the shit starter in the situation.
Because did he get into like a fight or something?
E40 says that it was a dude it was a heckler in the crowd, and he was heckling him the whole night. He was heckling E40 the whole night, and E40 finally turned around and said something, and he said the security seen a black man and a white man getting into it,
wow.
and they obviously kicked E40 out the game.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
before they knew what the situation was about. So yeah, that happened too this weekend.
That's fucked up.
That was a hell of a kick.
What?
We
You
just
missed it.
bro. It's how to
That
not to
was a
say.
hell of a
And
kick.
it was a free kick because he wasn't.
I didn't hear the N-word. Is it audible?
He said the N-word you are. He said just like the N-word you
Oh,
are. Wait,
shit,
no,
okay.
I heard it.
I watched it this morning. I just
play it-
didn't hear it, but
play it
I'm not
again.
saying they
Play it
didn't.
real quick.
I couldn't hear, but the way the girl
'Cause he
turned
didn't
around,
have
you
the
could see
audible
how
at first.
shocked she was.
The way he
Full
kicked
screen.
that nigga.
It's right here.
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it. Yo, you see the fool almost kick him?
Yeah. He thought about it.
Oh,
He
bro.
like, nah, fuck that.
I think we gotta blur this when we play it for the people, but holy shit.
Dude.
You think that he's been a
That's a hell of a
racist
kick.
amputee for a long time?
Yeah,
or you,
for sure.
Yo, don't. Why are we
Bro,
playing
you know
18 times?
you know what he looks like he has got going on from King of the Hill, Cotton Hill with
Oh.
he looks like he has the Cotton Hill like Vietnam leg.
That's one of
thing.
the best TV shows and one of the best characters on one of the best TV
I
shows.
wonder how did
Yeah,
he
it
get
is.
like that, because
That looked like a birth defect.
yeah, it looks like he's been like that. I
Nah.
told him it's like a mental health problem. He's probably been on drugs. He probably mad at life or whatever.
Well,
and
why he
just
kicked that nigga
wasn't-
when he was in the middle of putting his hat back on?
Yeah.
And why are you? Why he literally said it and then he's trying to fucking wobble away as fast as possible.
I mean, either way it goes, balance.
I mean, all right, that's really the question though. Is if someone is a amputee and seems like they are mentally, incapacitated,
yeah.
he's
and
getting-
they say the N-word,
I'm fucking him up.
you are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying like there is a certain level of a person
It
being fucked
is.
up that I just feel like I wouldn't treat them like a normal person. And that guy, if anybody looks like they don't deserve to be treated like a normal person, it might be him.
Hey, listen, they're all going through some shit. They're all on
Sure.
public transportation.
In New York, that's normal.
Oh,
Everybody
that's
takes
New
the
York.
train.
No,
yeah,
that's New
yeah.
York. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
in New
like,
York, everybody takes the
At
train.
the end of the
And
day, a
that's Soho.
motherfucker walking around on my feet all day, I gotta catch buses and shit, and you think you finna call me a nigga? Well, you done lost your mind.
I feel it.
Imagine he came up to you, Adam,
I
and
would
like,
have pushed him over just like him. That wasn't really a hit. He could have fucked his face up.
bro, he probably
coulda
broke
beat
his
the shit out
hip,
of
bro.
him.
His hip looks.
His hips already
Play it one
broke.
more time, Josh.
It looks like his. You
Take
want
the
to watch
sound
it
off.
again?
Take the sound
It
off.
looks like his legs are already like broken in different places or some shit.
He
Something
really just kicked him over.
Let's just say he's not doing too
Oh.
good.
Oh,
He really
bruh.
picked a good spot to hit him,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he kicked him in his ass.
He
Center of
chose his
gravity.
exact center
Yeah.
of gravity. He folded him up like a taco.
And I was saying that I had moved on because you heard about the E40 situation.
I heard you talking about it 2 seconds ago, but what, they thought he was someone else, so they kicked him out?
Nah, he just got into it with a Sacramento Kings fan, and
Oh, yeah.
but the dude was talking shit to him the whole game. So when he finally turned around and said something, the security saw the black guy being aggressive. Supposedly, that's the statement that he put out, and they snatched E40 out the arena, not knowing that the man behind him was the one that started the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like that.
And it's like it
Yeah.
sucks for E40 because how do you resolve that? How do you have to find some witnesses?
Nah,
or
I
like
mean
it's
everything's on
some-
camera.
Exactly, you
I
have to
feel
find
like
camera.
you can see the heckling going on. with
Yeah,
the
let's,
Oh, you
let,
can?
yo, you guys have to have seen this, right?
Bro,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
This
insane.
Full
is
screen
crazy.
this shit. This is a fucking movie. This is maybe like the best minute 45 I've ever seen in my life.
So basically, we're watching a girl trying to parallel park. No, I'm joking.
There's so many levels to this because it starts out like, okay, cool little gas station fight. I don't know what we're gonna have to blur here.
Look
but
right there. She just threw like something at her window, and I was
Yeah.
wondering what pissed her off so much. They were throwing
Yeah.
stuff at her car. Maybe something went inside her car too when they threw it.
Well, that's the
I wonder what
best.
city this is.
That looked like Atlanta. Nah,
Something down
nah.
south-ish, maybe, right?
That's Midwest.
And then, this guy almost gets killed. Whoever tries to stop her.
Bro, I want to know about this woman
What did
so bad. This is the craziest shit ever.
Exactly.
What does this guy do? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where does he come into play?
He's trying to turn a car off, maybe.
Yeah, how is he just dragged through this? Look at him.
Oh, he almost died, dude.
He gets up like nothing happened. Look. He gets up like nothing happened.
Imagine you're filling up your car and it gets totaled.
And you think it's over here.
Yeah.
It's almost hard to keep watching because, for a second you think, oh, it's over. No.
How did she get hit?
This is such a mystery of how the fuck this shit happened like this.
Oh
yeah, Karma didn't wait for her. Karma wasn't even waiting around.
We need
the
a
corner.
documentary. We need the security cameras from the Jiffy Lube.
Yo, you know how hard it is?
Yeah, I need to see that crash.
Bro, she almost died. Like her car, the passenger
She
seat got
crawled-
crushed.
Oh,
That's-
bitches strippers.
That's how angry sorry for you guys, man. That's how angry black women be. She flipped over the car and climbed out the window just to talk some more shit. Look at this.
I was thinking that. She's still
Look at
talking
this.
shit afterwards. So, like, her talking shit afterwards is almost like
That's OD.
you think this is dope. Like, whatever just happened, you're pretty hyped on this. Like, you feel like this was a pretty good result, and now you're going to stay in character like a wrestler or some shit and just be like, oh, yeah, bitch. That's what's up, bitch. Yeah, I crashed the car.
Fuck the family you crashed into. You haven't checked on anybody inside that car or anything. You get out just to keep on talking shit. The reason why you're in this situation.
We need a Trap Lord Ross documentary about this clip because I want to know exactly what the fuck happened, bro.
Hit multiple
He
people.
can get all the text messages.
That dude almost died. Who's probably like the gas station worker or something
dead.
like that.
No, he was walking around like nothing.
But my thing is, cars are so heavy. To flip a car upside down, you had to do something wrong.
You'd be surprised, bro. Like I've seen hella clips where someone like hits a curb in the weird way, and the car will like flip
for
over.
sure. It's safe to say that the ground's wet.
Right.
Oh, that too.
That's what it's looking like.
She probably hit a fire hydrant, rode over it with one wheel, and also she has like an SUV. That thing's gonna drive over
She
shit.
hit another car though. The other car stopped right there, but go ahead.
Bro.
All right, so this is my question off this topic is, should we have an intervention on this podcast either now or with him in our graces with China Mac? Because it kind of feels like there's just a little bit too much fake shit going on. And I'm sorry, but the ODM Slim Lupe clip that I saw last night was starting to feel very, very Jerry Springer. And I know people put that on us, but all the bullshit that happened on here was real, believe it or not. Well, besides the Vel AD fight, that was fake. But, for the most part, everything I've commandeered on here has been fake, has been real.
You and Sada Baby was real too.
Bro.
No, but you're talking about the
I
wrestling
just
clip?
play-
That's not Sada Baby, for the record. A lot of people think
Who was it?
it was this wrestler dude. What's his name? Lord Adrian or some
It was
shit?
two
Wow.
wrestler guys.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Sada Baby.
No, because somebody
Oh my
put it up
God.
there and titled that, and it got like 3 million views, and it does look like Sada Baby.
looks
But
like it.
yeah, I don't know. Like this weekend, we had that because, like, if you really want to go through the China Mac greatest hits since he came out here to LA, there was the fake home invasion with Vlad when they were on stream.
That's what I want to talk. I didn't see the Lupe thing, but when I saw that whole thing with the DJ Vlad shit, I remember when you went through your gun situation. And
But okay, that was a prank.
I know
No,
that.
that was him pranking Vlad, so that's one thing.
But that
The thing
prank
with
was a little too
Lupe-
far, no?
I mean, was it too far? I don't fucking know. I don't care about that. But like
Okay.
Would have been too far if Vlad would have sent that nigga up.
yeah, if Vlad became Gucci Vlad, then it would become a different situation.
Vlad was reaching inside his hoodie for something getting ready. It seemed like he
Bro,
didn't know what was going to happen.
Vlad is dying to catch a body.
I
He's
know.
out here ready. You don't think he was thinking about that whole time that he was on fucking China Max stream?
You're right.
He's ready.
But my whole point is, I remember when you went through that situation with the gun thing, right? Everyone was saying you faked it, and you specifically said, I would never do something like that because that's a weird fucking kind of morbid joke to make. Is like, hey, I'm setting someone up, or I'm pretending to murder, or, I'm pretending to have a real gun to your face. And when I saw that, I was like, if I was DJ Vlad, I'd be kind of mad at China Mac for putting me through that.
So do we know that the China Mac neck bruise was fake, or are we all just assuming because it looked fake?
I heard
And
someone.
what is he saying? He got punched in the neck?
I'm not
He
sure
said
if this
he was
is.
with two chicks freaking off.
Yeah.
And he didn't want his girl to know.
He said they R-worded him.
And then
I like China Mac, but I'm just kind of confused why, because
he's running plays.
when I first seen him on Vlad,
did he fight Whack 100? Didn't he? Was he? No, who was supposed to fight Whack 100? Sharp.
Wrong dude.
I
didn't even ask Sharp about that, but
shout out Sharp.
From what I hear, that's fake, or like that was like a joke
that's
that
what
they were gonna try to pass.
yeah.
I should have asked Sharp about that, but I forgot about it. But man, like I don't know, I'm just kind of like amazed because when China Mac first went on Vlad, you know, the impression I got there was that he was like a very, very real street dude. And now with like so many of these things being fake, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like I would love to have that conversation with him about like how he feels that shit impacts it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it next week. We're trying to make it.
That's our guy. We'll bring him on and ask about it. So they don't think that we talk about him behind his back, but
I know some shit I could ask him.
Definitely for sure. These plays are being read, and I feel like it's for the views. Everybody's doing it, but then it's like, yeah, if you base yourself, I get where you coming from.
But this nigga,
I'm surprised that he would make that choice at times, just because to me it feels like I feel like if I even faked like one fight on here, that it would be like nobody'd really be trying to believe shit afterwards, you know?
Yeah,
he was on live this morning reviewing the shit from yesterday, like when
acting like it was real.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
I doubt
bro?
that was real. I mean, the punch Lupe threw, we go get her a boxing class if it was because she wasn't trying to hit him.
Bro, I believe that ODM Slim
could have jumped through all of them.
I think ODM Slim, based on my understanding of him, he seems like a tough dude. He seems like he knows how to fight. I believe he's spent some time behind bars learning how to fight if he didn't know how to fight before that. When I watched that clip, I'm like, bro, this is not what ODM Slim would look like if he was trying to whoop somebody's ass. And I don't think he's giving Lupe a pass, even though she is a woman.
Yeah.
If she hits him,
she's a gangbanger.
It's going down. Come on. ODM Slim's going to whoop the shit out of her. No, and I love Lupe.
You get a pass. Yeah, that's Lupe. Yeah, we love both of them.
Lupe could walk up to me and punch me in the face, and I'm not going to beat her up. I just think ODM Slim probably is not going to give her a pass. And when I watch that clip, I'm like, bro, this is not ODM Slim making a sincere effort to hurt somebody.
He was smiling.
This is a joke. Time. Yeah, come on. And I don't know. I'm just kind of baffled by it because there's so many different roads that you could take to virality, and drama is kind of like the easiest one. But then that trust is hard to get back. You know?
Yeah, it's hard for a motherfucker to believe anything else that comes out your mouth when you throw too many. A boy who cried wolf, basically, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but China Mac, shout out to China Mac. Let's see what he thinks of our invitation.
Yeah, come on the show.
Maybe we could get him in here. All right, open this next tab. I can't even remember what I sent. Yes. Let's talk about this situation. So let me read it and then we'll play it. I put this is just some random guy on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. I put the rubber on. She like, nah, I don't want to fuck. So I told her to excuse herself. She told me I was rude for putting her out at this time of night. She has to drive to Joliet. And I'm like, baby, I'm not a rest haven for hoes, and you will be more comfortable in your own house.
What the hell?
Press play.
This started because you want to use a rubber?
Have you a good night. You'll be way more comfortable in your own house, baby.
So wait. So what? Scroll back up. What is the implication? I put the rubber on. She's like, nah, I don't want to fuck. So does she not want to fuck at all, or does she not want to fuck with a rubber?
She don't want to fuck with the rubber on.
I think she just didn't want to fuck in general.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Like she's just not trying to fuck, right?
You feel that?
I don't know. I mean, you can kind of interpret it two different ways.
Putting her out at this time of night.
We need more context.
Oh wait, yeah. If he put the rubber on and he was trying to fuck, she was like, nah. Yeah, that you supposed to let her spend the night. She ain't trying to fuck.
So even if the intended purpose of her coming over the crib was to fuck, if she don't want to fuck, you still have to be hospitable, or is that just your best practices advice?
No, obviously you didn't put that on the table. You not even pushing P like that. You didn't tell her like, hey, You know what I'm saying? Like when you put it up, like you gotta let them know if this is what you doing and you ain't hit yet. And it's like, hey, whoa, you know, give me some put like not like that, but in however words you put it, like, man, I'm trying to fuck something.
It should be
It has to be straight through like that. If you gonna be on that type time,
Yeah.
If you gonna be on demon time when she don't give you no pussy, you need to make it clear like you coming over to give me.
If it was this transactional,
Yeah.
I think it should have been up front from the beginning.
Yeah, from
you
the
know?
beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she come over and you ain't fucked before, and then you put the rubber on, she like, nah, chill. It's like, all right, cool. Not
Yeah.
yet. Then
So you think?
Then you just rub your dick on her leg all night. She'll fuck around.
Or tell her, and I've done this before. You want to fuck? She don't want to fuck. I'll be right back. I have horrible diarrhea.
Yeah.
You say that, you just bought yourself a good 20 minutes. You hit the bathroom, you rub one out.
Oh my god!
I guarantee you're going to be way more pee after that.
Yeah.
You're going to be way more laid back.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You also
said
can
pee.
play a prank and just go ahead and shoot it on her leg.
That's not a prank.
like-
That's sexual assault. I feel like
Is it?
it can be.
Is
If it's
it?
that's like what Louis C.K.
Hell
did
nah.
almost.
No,
but
at
he
this
asked.
point-
Yeah, he asked
No,
exactly.
but look, at this point, if she's laying in my bed, we fuck around. I would do it just like girls know I joke a lot.
Oh, but if you're laying in bed,
I
okay, yeah.
joke a lot.
I wouldn't just be on top of her and just.
No, it seems like she
I'd be
came
like-
over.
I'd be like, all right, fuck it.
It seems like she
Like,
wanted
you
like a
nasty
date,
nigga,
like an
like,
actual
shut
date, and maybe
up.
this could lead to something else. And he thought this is just a, we're gonna fuck and that's it. And
So shooting it on her is disrespectful.
Yeah, don't do
well,
that no
if you're
more.
already laying in bed,
I'm
I don't
talking
know.
about
It's
in
like
bed.
it's,
I'm in bed.
you
with
still
her and
need
I
some
roll
sort of
over and bust one on her.
She needs to approve.
Surprise?
It can't be a surprise bust,
Surprise.
especially if you guys are just meeting each other for the first time.
No, it's not the first. I mean, but I wouldn't have a bitch laying in my bed. That's different. I'm a different type of a bitch. Wouldn't be in my bed that I haven't fucked. We'll be at a hotel room.
So it's her fault.
We'll be at a hotel room somewhere or some shit or in the car.
Yeah.
Like I would
See,
even
if you
be
haven't
letting
even
around
fucked her
like
yet,
that.
you're not even on like the beginner level of trust.
Yeah.
I think you should fuck a girl before you let her in your house.
For
Now,
sure.
I realize that doesn't
100%.
apply to a lot of like normal ass people, but from my perspective, I think I would pretty much hold myself to that standard. Like I
Yeah.
can't.
Being successful and
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on. Like I be thinking that I might kick you out because you might be a low dropper.
Was that? Oh,
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
like at this point, like I just
You said you got money stolen from you by a woman you invited over. You know what I mean?
yeah. She was living there.
Oh,
She was living there.
that was
for
just like a fucked
4
up
months.
situation.
I mean,
2 months before I
just in
started
general,
the shitty draws.
If I was single, I feel like, well, number one, I also like, I don't want to have sex with a condom on. So I feel like if I was single, I would pretty much like want to get the girl to the point where she was down to get tested before we had sex, which I realized would probably be like, that would be
That's
kind of weird to some,
disrespectful. It's like it's supposed to be
Yeah.
disrespectful, but shit.
especially while I'm doing porn. I 100% have to
If
hold
they
somebody to
know
that
your
standard.
world, you have to. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
you gotta. That's what it is. He's trying too hard. Like you don't got the girl on your time. The girl supposed to be on your time.
This is the thing
I mean-
is, and I wonder this. Anytime I think about what it would be like to be single, I wonder to what extent it hurts your value sexually if you have done porn, like for a guy. Like like if it was like a thing that I used to do and I was on the market, to what extent every time you meet a girl is it going to be like, oh, there's mad footage of you fucking on the internet?
It definitely
I'm
does.
not down.
I'm glad you bring that up because I feel like a lot of people feel like that there's like a double standard where like guys can fuck as many girls as they want and nothing's ever going to be said and a girl has to like have a low body count, right? The same way where if you want to fucking marry a girl, have a serious relationship that you love and trust and you're not going to be doing any like fuck shit, right? You want to... A lot of guys, I suspect, would want a girl who probably doesn't have a million bodies, right?
Okay, but we're talking about guys, not
I know,
girls.
and I'm-
Because
and I'm saying
girls,
this-
of course, are going to be judged super fucking harshly for it in our culture.
And that's what I'm saying, where it goes the other way around, where like, even in my relationship, it's just like any
you
past...
get shamed for your body?
It's not shame for my bodies. It's just that any past stories is just like a thing. It's like a hurdle to get over. You know what I mean? Where it's like you got to talk about these things. And
You're
guess
talking
what?
about the orange?
If I had 50,000 hurdles to get over,
He's talking about the orange.
It's gonna be a big thing.
Hey, did you ever put it in this perspective before we get off this subject? What if she got him rock hard? Like, was kissing, rubbing, doing all the shit. And then he
put the rubber on. And she was just offended by the rubber. Maybe she's so into raw sex.
No, either that or what if she like denied it then? Like when he put the rubber on, like, wait, hold on. what you call it, spread eagle.
Right. What the fuck are your stories that you're getting hurt? You're getting shamed for?
Well, it's not. I'm not saying I'm getting shamed.
That'd be
I'm
kinda
just saying that I can assume that in any other relationship, if a dude has, if he's on a podcast or he has, stories out there about how he's done all these crazy sexual things, and he wants to get in a serious relationship, the girl is going to be like, hey, it's going to be a thing you have to get over. She's going to have to get used to it or whatever it is, or you get it with a girl that doesn't care about those things.
Bro, there was a girl on the No Jumper Instagram over the weekend, and she went on that whatever podcast. Josh, do you want to go to the No Jumper Instagram and just fucking scroll down? It's the girl who was saying that she was sleeping with 6 dudes a night or whatever.
Yeah, she was a gangbanger.
So she owe me some.
Yo, this what the fuck?
He got chlamydia right now.
Weird. But anyway, we posted this clip of this girl on the whatever pod, and she's just like basically she's talking about how she's had sex with 6 fucking she was fucking 6 dudes a night, bringing them back to her parents' house, etc.
She looked like Pam Beasley.
That's what she said to him probably before she left.
Where like I was 19 and I got kicked out of my house because I was like bringing over 6 dudes a night. Like it just was never enough.
Look at her face.
6 dudes a night
for like a consecutive week. Yeah.
6 times. 30?
I love the whatever pod.
Well, she said, wait, 6 times. Well, I'm thinking a week, Monday through Friday.
No. Weekends were my rally days. What do you mean?
Oh, would you slot them in like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m.,
40
10
ball
p.m.?
in a week.
Look how eager she is in this conversation.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd say I would even like have like my backup guys to where it was like if this guy didn't come tonight, then I would invite this guy.
Are you using protection?
You think she's down to one a day?
No. No.
And you were meeting, you said almost all of these guys from Tinder or dating apps.
Tinder or Bumble. I got kicked off. I got perma-banned off Tinder. They will not have me back. Eventually, it got to
That's
a point
terrible.
where
I feel so bad for you.
That's a sex addiction right there. If we've ever heard it, that's a sex addiction.
Okay. But so this got posted, and I believe we posted it multiple days after the original clip came out, right? Like we posted it like once it already had 100,000 likes on Twitter or whatever the fuck. She then, I was alerted to this, she goes on her Instagram story and posts a photo of her crying and basically says, fuck No Jumper for posting this clip. They're making me want to kill myself, yada, yada.
Oh,
what the fuck are you talking about? You went on this show. You went to Santa Barbara or wherever the fuck they film at, and you eagerly told this story, included hella details that you did not have to include.
Fuck Adam.
You wanted to go viral. I thought for sure she was an OnlyFans girl and she's trying to get attention for her OnlyFans. When I went to her Instagram, I did not see anything. And
who's responsible for the post?
Her Instagram was gone the next day when I went to look again. Yeah, I know. Like, how the fuck? There's so many other people you could blame, such as the actual podcast that you were on that, like, I think might have as many YouTube subscribers as us or whatever. Like, they posted it. You said it. They posted it. We reposted it. And now somehow she's trying to blame us if she does choose to unalive herself.
So what about whatever? Whatever gets no smoke for posting this,
and her as well. Like she
told
this story.
It.
Honestly,
you
other girls
think that was going viral. 42 in a week,
bro. Other girls should look at this story and
You're
see her reaction to it and be like, okay, this is the thing where if you do certain things in your life, it's really hard to get to another point in your life and be like, that's a part of my past. No, dude, like you have to have some accountability and realize I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. And also, you talked about it on a podcast, dude.
Yeah, she
like Adam is saying.
Easily fucked 6 dudes a night for multiple years
and never talked
about it. Took it to the grave.
And just not talk about it on a fucking hugely popular podcast and just give them the easiest layup ever. And nobody would know. You can move out to LA and nobody's going to know about the 700,000 bodies you have back on the East Coast or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, the fact that she tried
to... Tinder by, she's a serial fucking fucker.
She's the King Von. She's king. She got more bodies than King Von, bro.
For sure. In one night.
Bro, this literally reminds...
6 a day.
Oh my
like,
God.
6 a day is crazy. How many rounds are they going? Is it like one round apiece? Like,
listen, I don't know what
How
the
many
fuck
of those
this
guys
is.
fell in
I
love?
don't see her letting the motherfucker leave after one nut.
But this is why I can kind of appreciate the Whatever podcast versus Fresh and Fit, because Fresh and Fit are like very militant, like you will behave, do not interrupt, speak when you are spoken to. It's just like kind of an intense vibe. Whereas these guys kind of put on this like fake nice guy front and just get the girls to say the craziest shit ever, and just like they clearly are judging them and like looking
They'll
down
call
on
them
it.
out though. They'll say shit.
They will, but they just are kind of like
They're
a little
open
bit
with
gentler
it.
about
Yeah,
it. So it's
yeah.
kind of like the girls are
They're
doing it to
venting. They
themselves
can vent.
more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I've
just
seen
a crazy
I,
thing.
I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I've seen a bunch of their clips where like I like how they approach these conversations, especially with like girls like this, where they just talk about having this like crazy promiscuous life or promiscuous
Would
past.
you have her on play? Oh, go ahead.
And they ask questions like poke holes in. They're like, "What about this? What about that?" You know,
Right.
and it seems like they give them the space to talk and they don't shame them for it, but they're asking normal questions. And sometimes even if you have to ask a normal question, people are going to get emotionally fucking triggered and offended, regardless.
Yeah.
She'll have an OnlyFans in 6 months, right?
You would think the only reason to do this
Was
is
because of
because
the
you have an
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans and
Yeah.
because you want to promote what a hoe you are so that people will follow you.
Would you have her on Plug Talk after this?
It's going to be a resounding no for me, to be
She's
honest.
a 3.
I
She's
don't-
a 3. Oh my
I don't
God.
want to even
What
pass
if that's how
judgment.
she wants to make up about this? Like, if you have me on Plug Talk, I won't kill myself.
Nah, that bitch is crazy.
If it was that fucking Asian chick that they showed before
Yeah,
reacted to it, or the
yeah,
Mexican
yeah,
chick,
for
whatever,
sure.
she could definitely, we could work it out because she had to sit through all this. But as far as her, I'm just going to pass. But I don't even think she does porn anyway, or at least from where I could tell. But man,
She
what
doesn't film the porn.
I
what
would
a
be
mess.
interested in it.
She doesn't film it. She does porn.
she's
I
doing.
mean,
She's
she's doing
living the
porn.
life,
She's living
unpaid.
I'd be interested in it if the Asian bitch was there to react to this bitch getting fucked.
Yeah, what are all the girls there? Like, are they all random? Do they know each other?
They just get a panel of randos.
okay.
So this is the 3s.
The one
This
thing
is the three.
well, I noticed they usually get pretty
I
hot
want to do
chicks.
that one day.
It's
Just
either
get the
like
pandem
hot
around
chicks
and just-
who have too much confidence, or less attractive girls who have like horrific war stories of all the bodies they
Yeah.
caught
Yeah,
back
we
in
gotta
O-Block.
do this. We gotta get a panel, man. We got to.
Yeah, it's just how do you shop for like the like like if we just have porn stars, it's like I know them all.
I'll do
They're
it.
kind of level headed on average. It's not as interesting. Like you have to find random girls that are like clueless to how this is gonna play
We
out.
in LA.
My
Yeah.
PR, I can get it done.
Oh my
I
God.
That's
can
why
get it
these
done.
Fresh
She-
and Fit has like a recruiter. Like
Hey,
they have
that's what I'm
girls
about
and
to
shit
say.
who find girls and get paid per girl that they bring in.
Oh wow.
Oh, you can let
Hazel.
Yuri do it.
Because you can't
Do
just do
what?
you can't do professionals who like all professionals who are
it
in on the
gotta
joke.
just be like randoms, like, but like, all right, extras, like the people that's signing up for extras and stuff like that. Like maybe we put an ad in the newspaper in the fucking. Like,
Oh
just-
my God. Hey, but just like we had that
You know what I'm
conversation
saying?
I have a lot of
Just have
ideas
them
for
come
content
on.
that I want to talk to you about, but I don't want to air them out
for
right now on
recruiting
camera.
girls. But just like we talked about on the other day on the news about like body positivity and the overweight shit, you know what I mean, all that stuff. Like I feel like this is good that they're having this opposing conversation to this whole narrative that's going out there with. I feel like a lot of girls are pushing it, which is like I'm body positive, I'm free with my body, I just fuck whoever I want because it makes me happy. But then you're gonna get to a point like this girl who's like upset about her previous life decisions, and you have to really decide: is this something I want to do? Is this worth it to me? Am I really this type of person, or am I just being
And
influenced?
this is the thing, and this is why I don't really buy it when I hear a girl talking about how she just has 5 million bodies and how she loves her life so much. It's like women, on average, do not experience orgasm until they've slept with a guy something like 8 times or 15 times. I forget the number.
Oh, wow.
But the reason, a woman is going, like, they can orgasm from sex, but usually they have to have sex with the same person a bunch of times to get comfortable. Whereas for a guy, we all know that the first time you sleep with a girl, you can meet a girl for 5 minutes and fuck her and nut, and it's all good. You're done. It is what it is. So this attitude of like, everybody should just fuck everybody is way more beneficial to men. And to the average woman, I think the average woman is biologically trained / socially conditioned to want to be in a relationship, a consistent, steady relationship. And that's why every woman who amasses any sort of like societal clout or money or whatever ends up getting into a relationship, because the heart of the average woman is to want to be in a monogamous relationship with a guy that they can really develop something with. Not to mention the fact that they're going to have kids with somebody at some point, right?
Some crazy shit on TLC. This black lady got like 2 husbands. They about to have a ceremony for that shit, and then she also is still open to dating. She said she will never stop dating, so she's trying to bring in a partner onto her 2 husbands, so she could have like a little boyfriend on the side too.
Insatiable.
She
probably got an oversized clitoris.
She has to. That's what I was about to say. Like, cause those are balls that, you know what I'm saying. How do you present that to a man, being a woman? Like, I could see the man. I've heard of that shit. But it's like the woman telling you, like, yeah, I want to marry you and you. We gonna live together.
How much did she make?
I woke up out my sleep. I don't watch TLC. My girl was watching some shit, and I woke up out my sleep. And then the next one was escaping the Mormons or leaving, going back to Mormon. You seen that show? You seen the clips?
That's a classic genre.
Yeah.
People love that shit.
Yeah,
I feel like there's
was
more.
Like the one right before it. I don't know what the fuck she was, but it was like either her religion. She was either from Africa, like a queen or something. I don't know. But it was just like, it was a black lady too.
I'm not sure if I'm right here, but I feel like statistically, there's more desperate, lonely men out there than there are desperate, lonely women. Like,
That's what I was
there's
saying.
more, there's more guys out there that are like, oh, a girl that's willing to marry me. Oh, there's another dude involved. I guess whatever. It's like I'm willing.
And it was safe to say that she has to be rich because she's like not the greatest looker.
Oh,
that'll do it.
That'll do it.
She's not the great. I don't want to say.
Right. We're not going to tear her apart or anything, but
maybe she has 2 vaginas like that other lady.
She looks like she got 2 vaginas, right?
Those dudes share.
Sure. Or maybe more.
Yeah.
Imagine labeling the vaginas. You're like,
what
yo, I got the top one.
What about the cop dude, right? That just his wife just got caught hitting the 15-year-old, and he's like the sheriff of the county.
Oh,
did you see that shit?
Nah.
No, where's that at?
It's right here.
His wife is a teacher. Or
Josh
something
about
like
to
that.
bring it up. Boom!
Jesus.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, this is the Frank Ocean.
It says
That's what he was dressed in.
26-year-old Oklahoma substitute teacher has sex and sends like a 15-year-old boy nudes, but her husband's like the sheriff of the county that they're in.
I saw this. I saw
here
this.
we go. Put me in the corner.
So yeah, 26.
A married former substitute teacher in Oklahoma, who is also believed to be the daughter of the town mayor, has been accused of kissing and sending nudes to a 15-year-old student, according to the criminal affidavit. Emma Delaney Hancock, damn, she got a whole hashtag. 26, a former teacher at the Wellston Public School District, began texting the 15-year-old in October 2022 to send him a school assignment. The affidavit then said Hancock and the team began exchanging nude photos and videos of sex acts more frequently, which later escalated into Hancock and the team kissing each other on 2 occasions while in classrooms. Hancock is also accused of touching the teen inappropriately during the second time they kissed. This is extremely in detail. Imagine this dude just having to live with that, of just knowing that your fucking wife was just trying to fuck a 15-year-old.
Bro,
That's
You look like
crazy
somebody who
as
white
hell.
fuck
That's
around.
what I'm like, bro. And he's the fucking sheriff of the county. That's crazy.
bro.
That has to be like, for an ego, that has to be, something's going to happen to that little boy. I feel sorry for him. That's what I would say. I'm like, you were hitting the shit. But did they have sex, though?
No. I think they would, because look how in depth it is. Also accused of touching inappropriately during the second time they kissed.
Yeah.
So apparently they did not fuck, but it seems like it was going in that direction.
Yeah,
He
it
has
was
to arrest
going
his
in
own
that
wife,
direction.
bro.
Damn,
Yeah.
I wonder if they made
Does
him
he
do
stay?
it. That would have been quite the statement.
I mean, is this domestic? Like, does this turn into a domestic or what? Like,
I mean, wouldn't you probably just want to leave her alone at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
how do you
probably
come back
leaving.
from that? I wonder if they have kids and
do
shit.
you stay? Because if he stays, then he's probably like, it's loopholes in the relationship.
Bro, what's
to make her
worse?
want to fuck a 15-year-old.
There was another story that came out about this cop who had a wife, and this dude who had a wife who was a cop, and then she was getting fucked by the whole police department.
There's been so
It's
many
like-
stories like that this month.
Exactly.
It's like the past couple months. That's like a huge thing. But did you see that the original one who was going viral, that one blonde lady, she's basically now saying that she was being like raped.
No,
And-
she said she got groomed by the police department to being like a sex doll type shit.
which is so crazy because everybody was laughing about this as if she was just like a gangbang girl, like she was on
Who
some
you talking
Kazumi
about?
shit.
The officer that was doing
Yeah.
to everybody in the.
And the whole story went viral with the narrative being that she was basically a gangbang girl and she was getting fucked by all these different fucking cops at the thing, and now she's switching it up and
like I was getting ran.
But
through
who
keep
knows?
my
Well,
position.
she's acting like it wasn't consensual now.
Yeah.
Which is wild because always we have these stories in which it seems so obvious to us what the narrative is, like the dude from Cash App who got stabbed, and everybody assumed that he got stabbed by a bum. And I seen countless people acting as if like, oh, he was woke and so he's a hypocrite because he probably got killed by some person of color in fucking San Francisco. I've seen so many people running with that narrative, and then today the investigation comes out, or the past couple of days, and it's like, no, he got killed by like an acquaintance or
like
some other dude he knows.
His old business partner that he co-founded Cash App with.
But then there's no impetus on the people who spread the original narrative to apologize or switch it up or run back on it. Like the fact that Joe Biden still has his Jussie Smollett tweet up about the fact that Jussie Smollett was a victim of this violence or whatever. Even Joe Biden doesn't feel the need to make
on that nigga to do nothing.
he could do a response tweet. It would be cool to see Biden use that technology on Twitter to do like a Twitter thread where he explained, well, actually, Jussie Smollett staged a racial attack and I apologize. He was found guilty of this, yada, yada. He went to jail for like 3 days.
He probably can't remember his Twitter password, to be honest.
Well, someone on his staff, I think, could put this together for him. I think it would be a big look for him to acknowledge. You know what's one that they doubled down on, though, is or that nobody has ever like really apologized for, is the whole thing with Trump where he said there's very, very fine people on both sides or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, please do a Google of that and try to debunk that. It's so clear that he was basically saying there are good Republicans and there are bad Republicans. There's good Democrats, there's bad Democrats, whatever. He was not saying that about any kind of hate group or whatever. And everyone from CNN to the New York Times ran with the idea that Trump was saying basically that there are like good and bad Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know about this, Yuri? This
No,
is classic culture war shit. I think you knew.
No, I don't know about this, but whatever.
They dug up a clip of him admitting that America was built by people of color.
Trump?
Yeah, we don't get enough credit for it
Mm.
and stuff like that. I mean,
It's hard to deny that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But I mean, Trump is just to me, he's just an older white guy, man. And you know what I'm saying? That was the era he grew up in. So his supporters are like the people he was fucking with.
I understand why you like him. He lies, he cheats, he steals.
Oh my god! What president hasn't done any of those things?
And he doesn't expect to face any kind of repercussions for those things. He's just kind of like, "Fuck it, what are you gonna do to me?"
Okay,
he's shameless, and that's what people love. That's what people love about him. Yeah, and I get that.
I know this is.
I don't like him for other reasons.
He also freed my big bro Corvain Cooper. He had life for marijuana.
Oh wow,
for real?
He pardoned him right before he got out of office. Corvain Cooper.
Shout out Trump for that.
Yeah, shout out 40 Tons, the brand. They pushing the whole lot right now. So.
If Trump goes to jail, so should Hillary. I say that.
What?
No explanation.
No one even knows.
Boom.
I could bring up hella stuff. When during the presidency, they brought up hella old documents of that links Hillary to doing like hella corrupt shit, taking money to do speeches in the countries that we were feuding with. All this.
Yuri, how dare you say anything about the Clinton family on
yeah.
this podcast when we were
God.
founded with a cash infusion from the Clinton family?
I'm gonna be disappeared very soon.
They're gonna run with that. There's some videos for him right there, right?
Oh, shit.
Josh is a Clinton operative for sure.
I know it's not the
Look
best
at him.
argument, but just when people say like, "Oh, Trump, he did illegal things, so he should go to jail." Look at there's so many other people in the politics right now that we have evidence for right now.
Stop
that
snitching.
They just
And we talk about street politics. What about these lawyers? Well, government workers and street politics tied in. What about these lawyers that dropped off a Thug's case?
Really? Yeah. So what is the deal with that? You tell me.
Like, so what's going on is the public defender's office, I guess, they have to fight this trial. It's going to last up to a year. So they're trying to give them $15K a piece for the whole year, but they can't try any other cases because they're going to be locked in with this other case. So now it's like four or five public defenders, like basically defense attorneys that's not gonna fight the case, like they're not going to trial, so they have to get new lawyers. So it's gonna extend the time it takes for Thug to even start the trial.
Fuck.
I see this case getting thrown out. I don't know. It's like because the DA, they don't have shit together. The state, they're not trying to fund it. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like those loopholes right there will be why they give these other people, like right before a trial, they're gonna get these no snitch, go home today deals. Like, you know what, time served. Y'all really didn't do shit.
The state can't afford the lawyers to prosecute Young Thug anymore. Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
more that they don't want to do it for the amount that they were being offered.
It's not worth it to them.
I mean, the whole thing is just so ridiculous. Like that they're going to have all these jurors wasting away for like a whole year. Who in their right mind would do that?
They say the time that they're going to be working is like $140K worth of work.
I would do anything to avoid that. I will shit my pants in the courtroom every day as a juror.
Take laxatives.
I will piss on the fucking floor. I will scream expletives into the courtroom. I will do anything to avoid that.
You're smarter than that. Your tell-all story would go crazy.
That's a really good point, yeah. No, but they're not going to let me make YouTube videos every night or whatever.
I know.
You won't, but when it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm going to get a burner phone, and I'm going to call Trap Lore Ross every night and just tap in like, all right, so they said this.
Oh, my God.
But, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we make the best out of it, but that's fucked up, though. Yeah, to be a juror on that case, like, I don't see. That's what I'm saying. It's all getting fucked up. I don't see anybody staying for a year and presented the evidence that you presented, and you just took this dude, took all the murders off of him. Like, what are we doing here,
bro?
Yeah.
Like, that's what everybody's thinking. Like, what are we here to talk about?
And all the jurors
try
are
to
being
murder separately and get the fuck on.
Mm.
That's basically what the public defenders are saying. Like, okay, the people that you want, we'll fight for them because their murder cases is clear as day. This is what we have. All this trying to prove that the conspiracy. Like, that's going to be super hard. That's why the case is going to take so long. Because they have to prove that he conspired to do all of this shit.
You have to
And they
compile all
don't
that
have
evidence.
no facts.
Free my boy Thug. I'm feeling more optimistic for you.
Fine.
And the jurors are being funded by the tax-paying dollars as well, right? So it's just like a whole year of fucking 20-plus people not being able to work, not being on social media, all that stuff being funded by our tax dollars to put someone in jail.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yo, I got to go eat lunch. I'm fucking dying right now. Shout out to Remo lurking in the hallway. Shout out to Josh behind the boards. Yuri for pulling up. Brick
Thank
Baby.
you guys
Court.
so much.
Scored.
I want to talk about Agitating Chicago. I was super excited about that, but...
Well, I got to eat.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who watched us. We'll be back next week. Tap in with us. Bow. And we're switching to Monday nights.
Oh.
In terms of when we drop this. It's no longer the Tuesday show. We drop it on Monday nights so that we can just get in there, record Monday morning, drop it Monday. Boom.